Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 123 of the Co-op Podcast. We have a full lineup today, as you can see. I'm your host, Richard Bailey Jr., and today I'm joined by Mr. Gary A. Swaby. What's up, Gary?
Hey, what's up? It's exciting times right now, man. It's been a hell of a week.
Yeah, that's right. A hell of a week, but depends. Exactly who has had the worst week, which we will talk about later. We also have Mr. Charles Singletary. What's up, Charles?
What's good, people? Glad to be on the show. It's been a crazy week, but it's going to be interesting to hear everyone's perspective on things.
Definitely. We also have Mr. Michael A. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, people? How's everyone doing?
Good.
We have a returning guest, Mr. Edward Velasquez. What's up, Ed?
Yeah, nothing's changed. I still don't care about games.
There you have it. There you have it.
And we have two special guests here tonight. First and foremost, Mr. Damian. What's up, Damian?
Ain't nothing much. Glad to be back. Just ready to get it on.
Yes, definitely. And we have, you stop me if I say this wrong. Aaron Bradley from GameEnthuse.com.
Yep. You got
All
my
right.
full name and a full government name. All right. Okay.
Okay, it's good. So I didn't make no errors this week. This is good. I got everybody's name said correctly. Okay, great. Glad to finally have you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah,
Look forward to pissing somebody off and making somebody think. So.
Oh yeah, no, we don't want that. We don't want that. So, of course, we are going to get into the very big topic, which is E3. But before I do that, I want to ask you guys very briefly, what did you guys play this week? How about you go first? How about you go first, Aaron?
What I played this week? I played some Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark Zero, unfortunately. I played a bunch of the backward compatible games on my Xbox One.
Oh.
And then I also played the Nindies that Nintendo released on the Wii U. They released 9 preview builds for some indie games coming out. Some of them I already have or had PC builds up, but I thought that was pretty cool for them to do that. 9 things you can play that are on the show floor. You can play at home until, I think, the 22nd. So that's pretty much stuff that I played.
That's cool. Sounds good. All right, so how about you, Charles? What have you played? 'Cause you know you're at E3, or you went to E3, so yeah. Can you tell us briefly with some stuff that you played?
Yeah, man. I played a few things, a few indie titles. I played Bedlam. I played the Banner Saga 2, which was really good. This game called Ken KYN. That was pretty solid. I played Sniper Ghost Warrior 3.
And he also played.
Some pretty interesting games. Look on the Coalition.com. You'll see some previews I did for a lot of those
Sorry for
games.
being late.
It's all good. But yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay, before I move on to the next person, we have to introduce Mr. Corey Dillon to the room. Red Inferno. What's up, Corey?
Oh, not much. Just got back from eating dinner. Gary sent me the invite when I was actually eating fish.
Oh,
Okay. What kind of fish?
Just cod. Friday fish fry. Thing we used to do every Friday. Nothing special, but with folks.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, I guess what you call it here or over there.
Was there hot sauce involved or no?
That codfish will kill you, dude. That codfish is no good.
Yeah, but it's so good though.
all right. So since we're going through what everybody played. Why don't you tell me what you played this week, Corey?
Witcher 3, mostly. Well, I didn't play a lot because I had college finals this week. So I tried to play a little bit that I could, but my thing is when I come home and I'm tired, it's really hard to stay in, especially in something like Witcher, to like when you're tired, as fun as it is. So really today was like the first time I actually sat down and played a lot of it. I'm still in Velen. I'm gonna be there for a while.
I got you. And we understand that. But Witcher 3, great game. So 2 thumbs up.
Yep, no complaints from me. So.
Okay, so how about you, Damian? What have you been playing?
I actually been playing the beta for the Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
How is it? 'Cause
Pretty,
I had questions about that.
hey, pretty fun. It's just the multiplayer. You know, they just enhance everything. What it seems like what they did is they took all the gameplay elements from Gears 3 in the multiplayer and put it in Gears 1. So if you like Gears 3 multiplayer, you'll like this one.
Now,
The
did they
graphics are
change
very
the,
nice.
Did they upres the? I heard they just didn't upres the maps and stuff. They kind of just put new artwork or they redid the artwork.
Yeah, it seems like they redid some of the stuff because I also got a backward compatibility when you look at the old maps. It's like night and day.
Wait, you
really
can actually
put some
they
work
have
into it.
backwards compatibility for the Gears? Because see, my thing was
The first
you
two.
have backwards compatibility now. But are they
The
going to do
first
it for
two.
Halo and Gears games because they have collections or for that stuff now?
They have Gears 1, Gears 2, they have Halo 3, I think.
Really?
Or Reach. I think it's Reach. It's one of the Halos I saw there.
They didn't
But I
update the
have
site.
the
then. Okay, good.
yeah.
That's all I want to know. So.
Oh yeah, so Mr. Edward V, how about you?
I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight,
Lucky son of a-
I can't wait till I get on this.
and I only play like an hour, but so far so good. Like the first mission, they're trying to, get you back into combat. They introduced the Batmobile like as soon as they can. But yeah, I haven't really got deep into it, but
I've been
What are you
hearing some
playing
good
it
shit
on?
about it, so.
Well, yeah, I look forward to playing that next week.
What platform were you playing it on?
Uh-oh.
I'm playing it. So what does that say?
Wait, whoa!
You really got to ask that question.
That
Playing
That's super real.
best version of it.
Come on, Mike. Mike, I thought you knew me, bro. Come on.
I didn't realize that was a probing question. Okay, I'm just curious.
Insult. That's an insult to me. Like, what?
I picked up a code. I'm getting on PC because it's like $35. The site has the Steam code, $35 plus this season pass for $35. So
Ooh, yeah.
I
that's-
was leaning PS4, but then I was like, well, 35.
Yeah, that's why I
Season
did.
pass?
I got it for PC for
Well,
£25.
You do know that the pass will come with everything now at some point. They did come out and say that.
Yep, it's absolutely true.
Wow.
We'll see. Well, I'll be playing next week. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm sure not to ask Asher, man, what platform we playing stuff on. Wow, I learned something. I'll write that down. I'll circle it.
Whatever it plays on, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever works. All right, Michael A., how about you?
What have I been playing? Smite, of course, because that's what I play. Smash Brothers, because my new roommate, he has like all the DLC and stuff like that. So I actually got to try out Ryu and Roy. And man.
So Ryu is out yet or no?
Yeah, he's out already. And then I got to try out Elite Dangerous because I'm in the game program. So I actually downloaded that and tried that out. Like when they said
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I tried the Long Dark.
Oh, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't downloaded. How did you like that?
It's rough. I don't mean rough as in like performance wise. I mean the game is like you are in the middle of a forest freezing to death and
Yeah,
you have to
that's fine.
survive.
I don't
And-
mind that. I'm gonna give that a try.
No,
That
that's
seems-
cool. It's just and they give you an hour to play it. I like the fact they're doing that stuff. It's just I didn't really make it very far, so I didn't freeze to death, but I did die.
You didn't get the chance to either.
You didn't die cold. You died, but you were warm. That's what you're trying to tell me. Okay.
Yeah, I found a knife like a fool. I harvested the knife. Now I had scrap metal and no knife, so I did dumb things. Don't be like me.
I'm trying not to.
Don't be like
Yeah. And Forza Horizon 2, just because the game's still awesome. So that's basically it.
Interesting.
I need to get DLC for that. I keep saying.
So, Mr. Gary, how about you? I believe it's you and me are the last two.
of course, I've been playing The Witcher 3. I still haven't beat it yet. I just got to Skellige, I think. That's I think the third main area that you
And
can
you're
go
not that
to.
far ahead of me right now, because that's the next area after
Yeah.
Valhalla.
Yeah, I took that game mad slow. Like I was playing it for like 30 hours before I even
That's the
decided
best
to
way to do
continue.
it, though. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So, but now, since Batman's coming out and stuff, I kind of just want to finish it. So I'm gonna try my hardest to run through the story. But yeah, I'm loving that game. I think that's gonna be game of the year. But I mean, we gotta see what happens with Batman and Metal Gear Solid, of course.
I've been hearing some good stuff about Batman. I know there were some concerns about it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I got
Can I ask a question?
concerns. I got concerns, but it's next week, so we'll see.
Wait,
What's
so you
up,
got a
Damien?
question?
Yeah, I got the whole backwards compatibility thing, because that's why I didn't decide to play Witcher 3 anymore. Can I import my stuff from Witcher 2?
Ooh.
I had that on the 360.
I'm sure that's like.
There's a
I don't
list,
know if
isn't
that's
there, of the compatible games? I don't know if that
It's nowhere near being on there.
It's not on the list. It's not
But
on
the
the list.
thing is, just being backwards compatible doesn't make it where.
It doesn't make it impossible for it to go on.
But that
It
doesn't
does.
mean that
Oh, sorry.
it doesn't mean that they had the capability of doing that in the new game.
Yeah,
I know.
it's emulation software, so.
But it's slick though, because it pulls your saves from the cloud. Like all my banjo saves,
Exactly.
everything came right over, just like that.
Why
And it
not?
was-
No, I'm not.
They're not
I'm
downplaying.
not saying that you're going to lose your save files or anything. But does The Witcher 3 itself have the capability of?
Oh,
including
does
that
it?
stuff?
No, I don't think it does, actually.
It does it on the
That's what I'm
PC. It does it on the PC.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I know it does on PC. Like they have all three though, so that's a different.
Yeah, I don't
version.
think on console it does. They have that simulate save stuff.
I don't think you can currently. I think CD Projekt would have to update the game, like if they wanted to do that.
I think they handled it well. It just you really don't know what's going on with the when you have to make that choices with the save. I'm just like, Google, and okay, I guess this is what I want.
Yep. And besides that, I got back into Destiny. I brought the season pass for that. So.
Why?
Destiny.
We're gonna have to play when I get back in town.
That's a fun game to play with
Destiny
friends
is
and other people.
It's
man.
fun to play with friends by yourself. Not really.
Why
It's
would
fun
you
to make
I don't
fun
know.
of.
I
No, I'm
yeah.
just saying, but a lot of
It's
people
fun
are
to
getting.
mock, you know?
Wait, what's up, Michael A? What did Michael say?
I was just saying, why would you do that to yourself? I don't understand.
The game, I had a lot of fun with the game. The first 2 months it was out, and
Michael-
I kind of stopped playing, and then the content started coming out, and I kind of left behind. I fell
Well,
behind.
my
and
thing
stuff,
was all
so-
my friends that had the game at the time. You're right. It's really fun to play with friends, but all my friends traded the game in, so I was like,
Do you
Yeah.
feel like
on my own.
you feel a little burned that the actual base game was sort of shallow on content, and then you got this $40 thing coming out. What the last thing was? What, $20 or $30?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're filling in the gaps of maybe content that I don't know, maybe should have been there from day
Yeah,
one.
But that's what they said. That's what they said it was going to be like, though. They said it was going to be something that's continuous, and there's going to be new content added gradually.
Yeah, but they didn't say that it was going to
Wasn't
have no
exclusive to
content in the beginning,
Exactly.
and that they were going to add it eventually. They said there was going to be tons of content that jumped. And
But there was content in the beginning.
Really?
Hey,
There
let's
was?
not
It's
do
just
the
the fact
Destiny
that you had to play these levels over and over. That's the only thing. But it was
That's another
still,
chapter.
there was dynamic
story.
matches and
For a
and-
game called Destiny, I kind of expected more. That's just me.
I mean, that's another example of hype selling people wrong. But we'll get into that later.
Oh, okay, all
Oh
right.
boy.
Here you go. So,
Ominous.
is that pretty much all you've been playing, Gary?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, I did play that Fallout game on iOS.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
I played it for like 15 minutes and then said fuck it. Like
Yeah, where's Fallout 4?
it's
Is
just
it like- what's that?
almost every other iPhone game, pretty much. Like,
Fallout 4, he said.
It's like, this is cool. Where's the actual game?
yeah, exactly.
It's coming out the same day as Tomb Raider for some reason.
Yes, I didn't understand that.
I don't know about
I still don't.
I'm gonna definitely get into that though when we start talking about the other stuff.
Yeah, that's it though. That's all I played.
That's it. So very briefly, I also got into the Gears of War beta, and I would like to say this right now. Yeah, I do agree. It is the same game. You know, as was said earlier, a lot of the same multiplayer elements from Gears of War 3 in that game. But one thing people must know, because it is a remaster, it also has some of the same issues that these other games have had.
Oh yeah.
Like what,
Yeah.
frame rate or just?
Well, one thing in particular that I know a lot of people was complaining about was those those shotgun kills where you.
Oh god damn those
The
fucking.
host advantage still?
Yes.
No, it's not host advantage. It's just what they did was because it's undedicated. Because I'm in on it. It's just the shotgun is just stupid inconsistent. For some reason, they'll just one shot you from.
Yeah, you blow people away at one shot.
And then you'll be point blank and like they just eat it. It's literally the Gears 1 engine. So this is what people wanted. Congratulations, you got it.
You got
Also,
shotgun fest.
The movement in that game, it is not the movement from Gears 3. It's the movement from Gears 1. You will get stuck on the walls.
That's what they're remaking though. So
Expect that to happen. And what was the other issue? Oh, one shot down with snipes when it's active. So people will shoot the floor on purpose to get active, and then shoot you in the leg, and you go down. That's Gears 1. So
Damn.
that's what you people wanted. Congratulations. You have fun on that. I'm not playing that.
Yeah. But
I only ever played the single player, so I never got into that. I had friends that could tell stories, but.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know that's the gist of what I've been playing. I've been getting ready for Batman. I was playing Witcher 3, but then I just didn't have the time to really get into it anymore. I know Batman is coming.
Sorry to interrupt you, Rich. Quick question. What do you mean by getting ready for Batman? Like, have you become a vigilante at night? Is that how you're preparing?
Yes.
He's getting his body ready for the Dark Knight.
I'm getting ready to run through Batman. This is going to be my game. I don't know about all the other stuff game I'll be playing for the summertime.
It's only 12 hours.
Only 12 hours, yeah.
The day one patch for that includes the Arkham City suit, supposedly. I read the patch notes. That was like one of the fixes, and that's one of the additions.
Oh, really? Okay.
Now, does that 12 hours
so you
include
get-
the challenge maps and everything, or that's just...
No, the campaign, 12 hours.
Okay.
So on day one, you get one of 25 Batman suits.
I guess, and then buy the rest of them. I don't know. But yeah, they do give you one. So
Yeah.
nobody's beaten the game yet, so I don't know what else they give you. So
Yeah, well, it's all good. So, as I said, that's what we have been playing. Now, Charles is on a bit of a limited time schedule. So, Charles, I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the stuff that you would like to address about what went down with E3 in the event that, you have to get on the plane early. So, which topic do you guys want to talk about first?
Give me just a second. Give me just a second, though, because I'm about to head to my gate. I got to walk that way. It's going to be kind of tough for me to head. But, well, actually, you know what? Go ahead and ask the question. I'll be able to answer.
So, you guys want to just get to the conversation about the big elephant in the room of what happened with Microsoft and Sony, or do you want to talk about what happened with the other conferences first?
Bring the heat, and I'll address it.
But I'm confused. There's an elephant in the room for Microsoft and Sony. I thought like everybody was at E3. I didn't know those were the only two companies at E3.
Was it what? Repeat that?
I said there's an elephant in the room about Microsoft and Sony at E3. I wasn't aware.
Yes.
Well, there was an elephant, a giraffe, a orangutan.
there was a whole
all right.
cast in the room.
I guess. My thing is this. Charles and Tony and them guys did a reaction podcast.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Round one.
And my thing is this. Everybody has their own personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you're going to always come down to it, especially with something like E3. My personal opinion might shock some of you guys in this room. I personally didn't choose a winner for E3. I chose a loser, Nintendo. Nintendo, they just didn't even
Yeah, that's what I was
show
feeling
up.
about it the whole time. I was like, they
You know.
fucked up that. Everybody else did what they were supposed to do.
They did, and
That
they
is Corey. That is exactly how I feel.
That's my
Nintendo
opinion.
don't lose, right?
Microsoft and Sony, they did exactly what they had to do. My takeaway from E3 was this: Microsoft came in to sell consoles now, sell consoles between now and the holiday 2016. So
Yeah.
what they show? They show games that are coming between now and holiday 2016. Sony, on the other hand, is trying to tell people, listen, we know you bought a PS4, and right now the games are not there, but
Not
they're
ready yet. Here's
coming.
2016.
But they're coming. The games are coming. And that is my take. So I guess that, when I listen to the Reaction podcast, everybody's going crazy over Sony, but I have to deduct points from Sony because most of the game people going crazy over, they're multiplats. The second thing is the games they don't have any release dates. Even The Last Guardian, the guy who's head of Sony Worldwide Studios came out and say he's hoping for a 2016 release.
They do seem a lot more confident than they ever had with that game, though. Getting a date on it, though.
Finally, so that's why he came out and said that he's hoping and pushing for a 2016 release. Don't get me wrong. The most impressive game I thought at E3, and I hope I don't get a backlash, is Horizon.
yeah.
Or they would
Horizon
backlash. They had
great.
fucking dinosaur robots.
Yeah.
That's like
Horizon.
that's like
That-
Tomb
that-
Raider without
That came out of left field. That came out of left field. But you know what was disappointing? No release date. They did. So you're even talking 2016. You're probably talking 2017, 2018. So we're gonna be seeing that game at 2 more E3s before we can play it. I don't want that. I don't want that.
But see, Sony has sold so many more consoles than Microsoft. They can afford to do that. They could keep the
So-
carrot on a real long stick because they're sitting pretty. That gap is huge.
Yeah, but you see, that's what I said. Every company is doing, because right now everybody was saying to Sony, "Why did I buy this console? Why?" So Sony is saying, "Well, this is the reason why." The Final Fantasy VII remake that everybody's going crazy
not
over
coming
is
for a while,
multi-plat,
but it's
and
been-
that's not even coming until about 2018.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait. What's the date for the Final Fantasy remake? 2018.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that may not be.
Speculating.
That may not be. Yeah, I'm speculating.
Oh,
That may
I
not
was
come
gonna
for
say,
2018.
I didn't think they gave a release date at all for that.
No,
Yeah.
exactly, because from what they're saying, they just started production on it.
Yeah,
And
well, I
they're
mean,
not even
the
doing
thing
it-
is though,
hmm
the thing is we still got Final Fantasy 15. You can't just forget about that. You know?
Yeah,
Is that exclusive
Ex-
though?
No,
No, it's
none
not
of them are
exclusive.
exclusive.
But
None of
I'm
them are
saying
exclusive.
it doesn't matter if
I
Final Fantasy
think the one that is exclusive is that one, that Final Fantasy Wall or some crap or the other. But that looks like garbage. Nobody really studying
Wait,
that.
what looks like garbage?
Oh, the Chibi
What
Final
was it?
Fantasy, the World of
Oh,
Final
yeah,
Fantasy.
Some wall of
That's
Final
still
Fantasy or
definitely-
something.
Yo, that looks fire, man.
perfect.
Oh, man, come on, Gary. I know you love Final
Gary,
Fantasy.
Gary, really?
Dude,
Gary, I know you like
dude,
Final
man.
Fantasy. What? Really, Gary?
Come on, bro.
They're calling you out.
Come on, bro. That is insane. No,
And-
you
and
cannot
then-
get that far. I know.
Don't get me wrong, Shenmue, that was a huge announcement, but that game ain't even start development yet. It hasn't even
Yeah.
started.
Can
I
we
have some
mention
things
that
on
during the
it I wanna say in a
Kickstarter
little
is
bit, but I'll get to it.
And to come, and that's where I was going next. To come on stage to announce a Kickstarter, to me,
ask for
Sony
money.
Sony was grasping at straws to
They
fill that E3 conference.
That was
No more. I think after they saw the whole HoloLens demo, they scrapped their Project Morpheus part of their show and filled it with a Kickstarter countdown. That's unheard of.
That's where I gotta
Any-
disagree. You can't just go on. There was one thing near the end where I think like they had some for PlayStation Now, and then like, oh shit, the backwards compatibility. Can we fake controller troubles with Uncharted for like a minute and a half?
Uncharted
And
looks
then-
fantastic though, man.
Uncharted.
Okay.
This is my
I'm gonna
take on
interrupt.
Uncharted.
I'm gonna interrupt for 5 seconds now. For 10 seconds,
Go
to say
ahead.
something that's gonna make people really angry.
Great.
I got slack when I told people that Uncharted trailer that they showed us last year at E3. I'm like, that's not gameplay, and you people said, oh, that's gameplay.
That
That's
was
how the
in
gameplay looks.
engine. It
No, it's
wasn't
not. It
gameplay.
won't look like that. It's not even possible on a PS4 or Xbox One.
Agreed.
Like, that's just not possible. They told me that it was. Okay, we see another trailer. I think after that, I forget where.
That was a PlayStation Experience.
Well, then thank you. And people were like, "Yeah, look at that. See, it looks exactly the same." I'm like, yeah, because it's also a trailer. The game will not look like that. Then they show gameplay, and I'm sitting there like, that looks nothing like what I saw on those two trailers. Everyone's losing their mind.
I thought it was only me.
Why is that like a consistent theme? Like, we've seen this with Watch Dogs. We've seen this with lots of games, honestly. They show trailers. The games don't look like that. And then for some games, people get really angry at them. Like people to this day tear Watch Dogs apart for not looking like how it was originally shown.
I think it's more because it was boring.
But my thing with Uncharted is this though, and you can say the same thing for Gears of War. You can say the same thing for Halo. Halo is a little different. But when I sat watching the Uncharted 4, it didn't blow me away because that's the same Uncharted gameplay from 1, 2, and 3.
Now in Naughty Dog's defense of that, I was reading something. So you know how they cut at the end, right before Nate hits that wall or thingy, or whatever that was. So I guess the big blockbuster-esque shit that happens that's typical, and that all doesn't happen until like that's a behind closed doors thing. I've been hearing like I have to see it, but like all that crazy shit that you were hoping for apparently happens after that, so we don't get to see that shit for a while. All the stuff that everybody's talking about. Because there's like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't see any of that shit. And he's like, no, it's behind closed doors. I'm like, well, okay, I guess I can't see that for a while.
But they got to keep you wanting more. I mean, they showed you everything.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing with that whole reaction podcast that annoyed me because those guys got up and they start clowning Gears of War 4. Because if you guys notice, Gears 4. It doesn't name Gears of War anymore. It names Gears 4.
It's actually called Gears 4 without Gears of War.
Really?
It's called go back. It's Gears 4. It's not Gears of War. It's Gears 4.
Is that so we don't expect to see Cole and Marcus and?
I have absolutely no idea. But it's Gears 4. To me, they gone back to the roots. It's more of a dark. You know, you don't have 100 enemies coming at you now, but it's more of a suspense. Then the enemy comes and that kind of thing. So they're kind of changing the element back to the original Gears in a sense for me. But to me, Uncharted looks just like more of the same.
Yo,
and I need to see a little more.
Real quick.
Yeah, Gary,
go ahead.
I got something to say after Gary, but go ahead, Gary.
I got 2 points to make. Firstly, going back to the Uncharted thing, I don't think them announcing the Kickstarter was lame at all because it's Shenmue 3. Like, this is the game people have been waiting for over a decade. Like, no matter what you think about Shenmue and, you know, how it was on Dreamcast and Xbox, that's a big deal right there, even if it is Kickstarter.
I mean, on principle, asking for money during a precedent, like you don't like that's not a time to ask people for money. I know it's really to test the water to see what the interest is, but you ask people for money during a presser. That rubs me the wrong way.
Well, I mean, you can't just do that for any game though. That would only work for Shenmue.
Wasn't
it shouldn't have to. That's my point. You shouldn't have to ask for money for that.
Yo,
$2 million? Come on.
Can I ask a question?
Wait, hold on. Question.
Can I ask a question right quick?
Go ahead.
When has E3 ever been not about asking for money?
Yeah, good point.
But directly
That's
though?
true.
Directly?
I mean, okay. Like, okay, so it's directly versus inadvertent marketing schemes or whatever for a game that's going to have astronomical development costs, and they want to gauge the interest. I don't see a problem.
Yeah,
but the interest has been there for 10 years. The interest.
Look. Let me tell you something, Damien. The first game cost $47 million.
I was just gonna say.
Right.
You can't point me to any forum where you can count every person in it and charge them $60 and it costs $47 million. If you do that, I'll buy you whatever console you want. But show me.
It's just a bad precedent to me because that means now everybody can come out. Hey, now you can have a whole precedent of Kickstarters.
No,
where I
see,
see
that's
money for everything.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that
that's
will work.
how I see
that
it.
won't work for every game. That won't work for every game.
No, you're right.
That
That doesn't mean they won't try.
Yeah,
They will try and fail.
It'd be a whole nother monster if this thing didn't succeed like it did too.
Agreed.
We'd be having a whole nother conversation.
And that's
I'm not
why
mad
it's
it's
not a
coming
bad
out.
thing. That's why it's not a bad thing, because they put the power in the people's hands, and people didn't have to donate. You know.
Wait a
People
minute.
wanted
Wait
to.
a minute. Hold on. They put the power in people's hands via Kickstarter. You really believe this was about empowering people and not about generating advertising
I
for
didn't
the
say it was
game by
about
shattering all
empowering
Kickstarter
people.
records?
He
Because
missed.
that's really what they were
He
doing.
wasn't. That's not what he was saying.
Sony is already backing the game, right? So financially, they're secure already.
No, all right. You know what? Let me clarify something for you real quick. As far as Kickstarter.
No, wait. Think about it. Is that $2 million really going to impact their budget for that game?
No,
Yes.
I think I
Can
don't
I
think the
say
2 million was for the game. Isn't it 2 million to get
This
some kind of
gauging-
rights to actually make the game?
This gauging interest thing isn't new. It may be new to you, and okay, maybe that's Sony's fault for dropping this bomb.
Iragashi did it, but
Yeah, that's a whole nother monster. There have been companies that want to make a game, and there's another company, a bigger company, say like a Sony, that would be like, hey, if you make this much on Kickstarter, we will fund this amount. It happens all the time in various amounts, from 100,000 to 50,000 to 500,000 to millions of dollars.
Okay.
It's only a problem because y'all saw it on Sony's stage.
No,
And
it's not.
maybe
only
you
a problem.
don't care about it.
I'm
Yes,
telling
that
you
is
now,
only-
if Microsoft came onto that stage and said we're going to make Battletoads and have a Kickstarter, I
People
would
be
be
livid.
just as adamant in it, just about that.
I
And you know what?
agree. I would-
And you know
I would-
what? I
People
promise
be
you.
in the streets.
I promise you, the press would tear them apart if Microsoft kickstarted anything.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they
Bullshit.
would.
No, they wouldn't.
And you
I
would.
have
And the
proof
same
of
goes
already.
with
Sony is the only company can get away with doing anything right
That's
There's-
true. That's very
There's
true.
proof.
And think about
There's
Sony stole
already
Microsoft's playbook. COD and television. Microsoft got
That's-
ripped to shreds for COD and television.
Thank
And
you.
Sony just did it. And nobody said
now.
nothing.
And everybody's still saying it's the best E3 show ever.
Oh, I love
Right.
Call of Duty now because Sony's behind it. I get the maps first on PlayStation 4. Call of Duty is fantastic. When
All of
Microsoft did it, it's Dude Bros.
Exactly.
there's a whole other thing with that.
Alright.
The Xbox Riot hashtag. God damn. There's a whole
It's just a
hashtag.
double standard. That's all.
So wait, hold on, Gary. You said you had something to say.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to say, and after this, you guys can go over wherever you want to go. But the other thing I wanted to say about Uncharted was that I wasn't even really paying attention to Uncharted anymore. Like, I just want the game. Like when the game's out, I'm gonna go cop it. I already know I'm gonna buy it. I wasn't even like bothered about any Uncharted footage, any coverage, or whatever, because everything else that happened just kind of moved that out of my mind. But the game does look cool though. I'm not taking anything away from it. It does look cool.
And it was
Oh, yeah,
live code
that's-
because I don't never know a trailer. The trailer that crashed.
Can I say something real quick?
I said it was
Go ahead.
live code.
No, Gary, I mean, let me clarify something. I'm not saying Uncharted didn't look cool and didn't look good. All I'm simply saying is it looks like more of the same. And probably that's a good thing because the same is what makes Uncharted as good as it is.
I will say one thing though. Uncharted 4 looks better than Tomb Raider to me.
No.
Let me. Man,
Nope.
get
No.
out of here. Get out of here.
Nope.
Wait a minute. That's his opinion. Now I'm just going to ask a question about his opinion.
No,
Are you saying
hold on.
graphically or gameplay?
No, not graphically. I mean, as a package, like gameplay, graphics, everything.
Oh, okay.
I can see why you say that.
I don't see why.
Yeah, I can understand why you say that because they showed two different gameplay elements. One was more action oriented, where the other one was more of climbing the environment type.
And the banter and everything between Sully and Nathan, all that sort of.
Yeah.
It was a very kinetic chunk to show. And yeah.
Right.
And he hates fences, obviously, so that was also exciting.
And with the Tomb Raider thing, like the entire time, I was thinking this is a level straight out of Uncharted 2.
which ironically, Uncharted, can give, has to give some credit to Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
Tomb Raider came before it, so it's sort of a curse.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
you see, game enthusiasts. This is another thing that I want to go back to that they talked about on their reaction podcast. This is to Charles. they're now saying, oh, Halo now looks like Destiny. If everybody remembers when Destiny was wait, let me
no, because you're about to run off with some nonsense instead of exactly what I said.
But that's what you guys said.
I said
about
specific.
the colors and the ground punching. Oh, this looks just like Destiny, and how Bungie looks like. 343 said, oh, it worked for Destiny. Let me do it. When Destiny was first shown, everybody's reaction was like, whoa, this looks like a MO. It looks like Halo. That was everybody's reaction. This looks just like Halo. And basically, you had PlayStation players saying, we finally got Halo on the PlayStation. So if the one game looks like the one, and now you saying, I don't know, you guys were just confusing the shit up. Because to me, if you're saying, okay, when Destiny came out, it looked like Halo. Now you're saying, oh, the new Halo looks like Destiny. They're already one and the same. They're already very similar.
Well, you know what? Can I tell you a secret? It's not even a secret. You're just confusing yourself because we talked about specifically what, and I wasn't there for their Halo conversation and Destiny stuff.
Yes, you were.
I wasn't there. The only thing I said looked like Halo, and I agreed, was the scope of the multiplayer. Which it did. The way everything set up, the way you were jumping around and everything was just like Halo, right? And in the React podcast, the only element that I said looked like Destiny was when he was up in the air and he did the punch, which does look like Destiny. That's one thing. That's not me saying the whole game looks like Destiny. It was one part. That's not even worth us talking about right now.
And again, who cares?
Exactly. It wasn't said like a negative thing.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. You need to listen to your React podcast. You need to listen to it. The first.
I was there. I was there for it.
You guys literally took 15 minutes to clown Microsoft.
I was in it. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna speak for myself. So come at me about what I said. Okay. I said that the punch looked like that, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah,
it was not a negative thing.
To be fair to Charles, I think it was more the other guys that were kind of, clowning.
They were trolling people because they know there'd be fucking people going nuts in the comments. Come on, guys.
No, that isn't.
I would never hold Charles responsible for somebody else said. That doesn't make any sense. That's A. B, while I understand why Charles says that, even that's kind of inaccurate because the whole go in the air and do things, that was in Halo before it was in Destiny.
They had it in Halo 3. They had it in Halo 3's multiplayer. But it didn't.
Which was before Destiny.
And they had it in Reach as well. That's my point. So I mean, like, I'm not saying you're wrong for comparing the two. Obviously, Destiny and Halo are linked games. Honestly, everyone knows why. I'm just saying, like, it does kind of. I can see why someone like Damien. Because you know me personally, I don't really care. But I can see why someone like Damien would come across as someone who takes that as a slight. Because in his mind, he's thinking that you're attributing something to Halo from Destiny, and when in reality, it was in Halo first.
Well, exactly. I'll say this: if you feel that way, I'm sorry, but that wasn't the intention. That wasn't anywhere near it. Because you will take that and ignore the positive things said about it for something you assumed was negative.
But you guys didn't say anything positive about Halo.
I mean, okay.
I think one person said they liked the way that they're issuing commands and stuff. The issue is this, Charles, right? It was about 5 of you guys in a hallway. It sounded like because it was very echoey. I can't really differentiate. The only voice I can differentiate is Tony's voice. Most of you guys sound very, very similar.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how to take that. I wasn't even on the show.
Yeah, you know what? Charles does sound a lot like JJ.
Oh, come on now.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, look,
let's go.
Bottom line is, now I am saying to your face, it wasn't said as a slight. It was a comment on what I saw. As simple as that. Halo looked fine. Is that what you need to hear? Halo looked cool to me.
No. It don't matter what your opinion is of Halo. I'm just saying.
But it does, because you came on this show to ask me about my opinion, but my opinion doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying, like, how can you say the perception was Destiny looks like Halo? Now you guys are just reversing it and saying oh, it's funny. Now the new Halo looks like Destiny.
Here
Yeah, man.
you
All I'm
go.
saying is,
The point
they
that
were
you-
always the
I-
smallest one and the same.
I am not going to answer for people that are not here. I am answering for Charles E. Singletary Jr. from Birmingham, Alabama, now residing in San Antonio,
You sound like you sound like you're getting a little salty. We'll leave that
His
alone.
whole government name. We should probably move on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We should probably move on.
I'm confused. Like it bugs me that apparently someone reached out for me to be on the show to ask me about other people's opinions. Like, I don't get that. I do not understand.
That's an interesting statement,
Hey,
Charles. But
we got an
again,
hour and 15
Let's just
minutes.
move on.
Hey,
Let's
let's
move on.
move on.
We didn't have much
Rich,
time.
what you got to say, Rich? School us, please.
Yeah, so you got that up your system now. So yeah, let's move on to maybe just a little bit more structured. And ask you guys what you thought about the conferences themselves. There's a lot more to say about Xbox and Sony. I don't want to jump into that just yet because I'm going to say something about that. But let's do this in the correct order. What did you guys think about Bethesda?
Do you want me to go ahead and get that stuff out since I lost my signal?
You know what?
You want me to go ahead and get my stuff out real quick since I lost my signal earlier?
Go ahead.
All right. I'll run through it a quick again for all of you because I was on the React podcast, so everybody generally knows how I feel about things. Bethesda, me personally, I do not have as much interest in Fallout as everyone else, but the Fallout showing and what they're doing was interesting, and I like what they're doing. It makes me think maybe I will be more interested in it. I'm still not a fan of the VAT system, and I know I can play without that, but it is a big part of it. Otherwise, I can understand if somebody were to say that Bethesda had the better showing conference-wise. I can understand if they said that. If you're a fan of those franchises, you're a fan of Bethesda, they brought a lot to the table. They brought Dishonored 2. They brought Fallout. They brought Doom. Simple as that. I think that was dope. You want me to stop there or you want me to go through all of them real quick?
Press for time. You can go through all.
Nintendo conference, I'll say this, they did not lose. The reason why I say they don't lose is because we don't even know what they're trying to win. And people are out of touch with Nintendo's goals. They are tailoring everything that they do to their fans that they have now, not trying to get people to jump ship and join them. They don't care about that. And that's shown in the World Championship that they had, which was a great experience. I didn't expect it to be as dope as it was when I was there. And it was dope. I was excited in there, and I barely care about any of that stuff that was going on. They had y'all have an E3 experience while you're not at E3 with these games that they have on the floor that can come to your device. They brought you Star Fox gameplay. Now, they trolled you a little bit with Metroid, but still, I trust them to bring a new IP and it'd be interesting because Splatoon was brand new and it was dope. And I'll trust them to do a Metroid game. I understand if you felt slighted, but it's going to be a good game. And well, I'm not going to go in too deep. EA's conference, that's better than last year, but that's not saying anything at all.
20 minutes of sports.
I appreciate that y'all reached out to an indie developer that probably no one would have ever heard of and brought them onto the stage because Unraveled looked pretty cool. Other than that, I don't really have too much to say about the conference. I didn't like what Need for Speed had as far as the controls and like that drift angle. We all talked about that. That was a little off-putting. But skip that. Ubisoft, F them for how they handled the whole conference and people getting in. Because it was a bunch of nonsense.
Hey, Angela Bassett, though. Angela.
Okay, that was dope. For Honored is cool. It's a good new way to cash in on the MOBA interest that's happening right now. Ghost Recon Wasteland, that was the best thing y'all had at y'all show because that actually advanced the formula for Ghost Recon and it looked really dope. Microsoft had Haymaker after Haymaker. They were doing pretty good work. I think it was Damien that was like, now he didn't say this, I would assume that he wasn't saying this in a negative sense. Uncharted just looked like more Uncharted, which I think all Uncharted fans were just expecting more Uncharted. They weren't expecting anything else. Halo, Forza, Gears looked like more Gears. more Forza. You can't really make it that much different with a racing game. Halo got the squad stuff, but other than that, it looked like more Halo. Those are not bad things, but these are things that we knew was coming. So I was more excited for Sea of Thieves, that Rare game. Which I mean, it's not the classic Rare that we know, but still, that looked dope. Then the Rare Classic Collection was dope. Recore, the idea that I gathered from the trailer seems interesting. But the biggest haymaker, of course, was backwards compatibility. With one hit, they made PlayStation Now completely irrelevant. So much that I do believe Sony deleted that out of their conference and they wanted to talk about it. But it got erased. If y'all would have seen where the PlayStation Now stuff looked like on the floor, you could tell that they wanted to focus on it a little bit, but they couldn't. And then Sony's conference, PC conference actually was dope, but it's too much to talk about. It was almost 3 hours long, so I'm not going to go into that. The Sony conference, which I agree with Garrett that they won in the moment of E3, but not for 2015, which I'd like to challenge people. Other than this year and last year, when has E3 been about the year that it was presented? Most of the titles that you see were games that come out in the following years. Microsoft switched the strategy up because they knew Sony didn't have any games this year. They executed well. But people are acting like, oh my goodness, Sony isn't dropping anything this year, even though Sony talked about how they didn't have a lot of first-party support for 2015. Did you watch E3 expecting that to change? Maybe that's where we kind of differ in our expectations. So the 3 big announcements that we had, I enjoyed them. Horizon surprised the crap out of me because it's a new IP that didn't leak, and it had gameplay. The fact that they were able to keep that under wraps was pretty dope. The concept of the game looks really cool as well. Final Fantasy, Shenmue, and Last Guardian. I'm excited for those games. I've been asking for them forever. I finally got them, so I have the right to be excited. If you were asking about something for years and you finally got it, you'd be excited too. That's it.
Uh-oh. There you go. That's Charles's point of view. So, who wants to go next? Run down what they thought of the conferences.
Wait. Are we just gonna go one by one, like each of us?
I would have, yeah. If you're doing that, you and Gary should go next.
Yeah, I mean, y'all don't have to do it exactly that way. I just wanted to rush it and get it before the signal cut out.
I think we should do one conference at a time, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead then. Since Charles already said what he had to say, he'll probably chime in, I guess, if we have time for that. So why don't you go next, Gary? What do you think of the
Bethesda?
Bethesda.
Yeah. See, I was mad because that came on at like 2 a.m. our time, like over here, and I actually was asleep and missed it. But I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I watched just the Fallout bit, and that part alone was amazing. That dude, what was his name? Was it Todd or something?
It was Todd Howard.
Todd Howard, yeah. That dude, he's got swag, man. Like the way he, showed off the game and everything.
Oh my God.
It was dope.
He knew what people wanted.
Yeah, man, and the game looks amazing. Like I can't wait to play that game. I like that you can build your own camp or whatever. Like that stuff looked really cool. But I probably won't touch it that much because it seems time consuming. But just the fact that it's there is great. I liked the character customization and stuff when you create your character. I like that it's all real time and like you can switch to the woman and everything. Like that was real cool. Graphically, the game isn't too impressive based on what we've seen this generation, but it's a Fallout game. I mean, it doesn't need to be amazing. Like I think it looks good enough for what the game is. It's a big open world game, so they're not going to go all out with the game, with the graphics and the visuals and stuff. And I'm sure it'll look a lot better on PC anyway, which is where I'm going to play the game. So yeah, I was really impressed with all that extra stuff they did with the app and everything. That was a little meh. Like you didn't need to do that. Nobody cares.
That was Ubisoft, that was weird.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. Damn, I had it in my head just then. But yeah, I mean the game looks really cool. as far as Bethesda, the only other title I'm really excited about is Battlecry, because I played that last year at E3 and I really enjoyed it. If people are into, MOBA type games, then, that's a real fun game to play. And it's free to play as well, so I hope a lot of people get into that when they drop that. And Dishonored, I never played the first Dishonored. I just bought it in the Steam sale, so maybe that will change very soon. So, as far as Dishonored 2, I'm not that excited until, I actually play through the first game. So, for me, Bethesda, I'd say they get like a solid C as far as grading goes.
Wow.
A C.
Harsh. That's harsh.
You serious?
That's pretty.
I mean,
That's
to me,
pretty
it was
harsh.
really, for me, it was really just one game. That was amazing. So
And you know what? I yeah.
C.
Somebody got to mute the. So let me go ahead next real quick because I'm gonna keep it real brief. Yeah. Hey, I enjoyed what I saw of Doom at the Bethesda conference. I thought it looked cool. I'm gonna definitely pick that up. Fallout 4. Now let me just say this right now. I have not gotten into the Fallout series. Period. Now I was interested, but I still didn't get the hype. I was like, I need to probably play Fallout 3 to get a better understanding of what to expect from 4. Then when Microsoft announced, there's an announcement that they made that I think a lot of people did not pay attention to when they announced.
It comes with the Xbox One version of 4.
Yes, the mods, but they also announced that Fallout 3 also will come with Fallout 4. So, yeah, I think you know which console I'm going to get it on now because of that. Because I haven't played 3 before. And the mod support, which is also maybe coming to PlayStation 4 because people have already been saying they want it on PlayStation 4. So
Todd says he hopes it will, so we'll see.
he hopes. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm sure people will complain and they will try to accommodate.
Welcome to the game industry.
Yeah. Dishonored 2, yeah, we just saw the trailer. I mean, it looks interesting. Obviously, got to see more of that. I don't know if that's going to actually make the 2016 deadline. A lot of games, I don't think they're going to make the 2016 deadline, but as we continue on, I'll elaborate on that further. But overall, I thought the Bethesda show was awesome. A lot better than some of the other shows we are going to talk about. But yeah, definitely not a C in my book. But again, it's only a matter of opinions. So, but yeah, that's what I think about Bethesda. How about you go next, Aaron? What did you think of Bethesda?
I thought Bethesda was good. I like Doom. I played it in my youth. I wasn't like wild about it. It was like it's not in my top 20 or anything, but I appreciate the game, and I think that the fact that they announced it showed barely anything. What was it? Whatever con that they throw. I guess they had some kind of demo you could watch, but somehow nothing ever came out of that. Maybe they took everybody's cameras and phones. I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I wasn't there, but I was surprised that nothing leaked out. At this day and age, that's almost unheard of. But yeah, what they showed of Doom 3 definitely looked good, and it looked like they've been listening. You can't just take Doom and make it look pretty. I mean, they did that with Doom 3, and we all know that wasn't really the most fun thing in the world to play. I did enjoy Fallout 3. I did complete it. I didn't give New Vegas as much time as I should have. But I'm definitely excited for Fallout 3. I went ahead and pre-ordered
Fallout 4.
I'm sorry, yeah, Fallout 4. I pre-ordered, the Pit-Boy, all that kind of stuff. So that looks pretty cool. I thought it was ironic that Todd Howard was on the stage for Microsoft's press conference announcing the mods, which I think is also coming to PlayStation 4.
Well, I think they're further along with them on that platform than they are PS. Sony, but he said that it's a work in progress on both. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah. Well, plus the Windows 10 development environment obviously gives them somewhat of an advantage as far as that goes. But I thought it was ironic that he was on stage announcing it. Yet I'm one of the few people who has a Windows phone, so that Fallout Shelter game is not on Windows Phone, and I'm hoping that the Pip-Boy stuff will be available on Windows Phone. But I have a Windows a tablet, Windows 8.1 tablet, so I don't have to worry about it on that front. I might not be able to use it on my phone, but I'll be able to use it in some capacity that's somewhat portable. But yeah, I thought Bethesda was good. The one thing that Melee not Battleborn, Battle something, I can't think of it. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Battlecry.
Battlecry, that's it. I couldn't think of what it was. That didn't show very well to me. And being all Melee, it just kind of, I don't know. I just looked at that and went, it looked rough. I was surprised they showed it in the state it was in, to be honest. But maybe that's
not a great game to show at a conference anyway. But I played it last year and it's really fun.
Okay. It might be one of those things you have to kind of see it, get your hands on the controller. But looking at it at home, I'm in full snark mode too. I mean, I like being, I'm tweeting snarky comments. I'm just being funny about it, whatever. But it didn't show very well. But overall, I like Bethesda's presser. I enjoyed it.
Okay, so who wants to go next? About you, Mr. Corey? What did you think of Bethesda?
I want Fallout 4. That's all I gotta say about that. They sold me with one. They showed me the face trailer, and yeah, I'll take it now. Give it. And then I died when they announced the release date. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still here.
Yeah, that gameplay when they showed all the shooting and stuff, I'm like, Fallout with an actual gunplay system that's not hidden behind bats because the engine was never meant for it. It's like, yeah, actual shooting mechanics. Sounds good.
Let me ask you about the collector's edition because I had a kind of an issue with it. I mean, it's pretty much $100 piece of plastic that goes around your wrist, right?
Thank you. Yes. That's exactly what the fuck it is. The fucking phone sleeve.
That shit better be recyclable. I love fucking Fallout, and believe me, when they announced it, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting it." But then I realized, hey, this sucks.
Okay.
Give me an art book or something. I prefer that. Fuck it.
Oh, you mean the actual collector's edition? I thought you meant
just the Pip-Boy. Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was all about. Yeah.
It is somewhat iconic. I don't know.
So since you already spoke, that's all you thought about the Bethesda was Fallout, correct?
Yeah, and Doom. I liked Doom before, and that just needs to stay a memory. There's.
It didn't look fun to you. It didn't look like fun,
It looks like they're still trying to be a first-person shooter in the year 2000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it hasn't it's not on the same level as these new games. It's that's the reason Duke Nukem didn't work, because you're outdated.
I'd like to think that there's a stark difference between Duke Nukem and Doom 4.
I compare those because they were kind of ahead of the game as far as first-person shooters. I mean, they're kind of the pioneers in a way. They both played their part.
Right.
They both played a part. But I'm just saying those games are old, exactly like Quake and Unreal. It's a different era, and just Doom has no business in 2015.
Uh-oh.
Can I just say one thing? The difference was that Gearbox willingly released Duke Nukem Forever, knowing that it was a piece of shit, and they even said as much before it came out.
But even looking back at that, since I mentioned it, I mean, we got what we always wanted in a way.
That's true, but
we knew it was old.
We did get a piece of shit, and we asked for it. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we have no assurance of anything really. Hey, Shenmue, it's we're about to get it. Nobody's gonna tell us if it's good or not, but we assume it is.
Back, so that's all I gotta say about that.
Uh-oh. Okay, so how about you, Damian?
Bethesda's show, it was an interesting show. That I'll say, it was a very interesting show. I like some of the stuff they show, but I am not big on first-person shooters. I think Doom looks beautiful. I think it looks like a lot of fun. Personally, I'm not gonna purchase it. I think I'm gonna take the year approach when it comes to the Fallout. I'm not buying it like day one, but I am gonna buy it because you get 2 and 3 in the bundle.
No, just 3.
Yeah, I've never played a Fallout. I saw my friend playing it, and he got annoyed because he said he think the shooting mechanic made no sense. Because if you have the option to shoot all different parts of the body, you gonna always want to go for the headshot, which is the kill.
Because it was the Oblivion engine, Damien. It was not meant for.
No,
then it's a percentage.
right. So and apparently he was telling me there are no penalties for going for all headshots. Like you can't just say I'll just go for all
Penalty.
headshots and you wouldn't hit.
The penalty is that you'll hit it a whole lot less often than you'll hit everything else. That's just how the system works.
Right. So I think I'll give it a try, but like I say, on November 10th, I'm more leaning towards Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
So-
we
November, I thought it was September. Oh, it's right. Same day.
Tomb Raider is the same day.
Oh, no, we are about to jump into that, but right.
But my take on it is they had a very good showing for their audience.
Yeah.
Their games look very pretty, but what they didn't say but I think all the games were on PC. So that speaks volumes, but it's not my type of thing. I'm not big on first person shooters.
I'm gonna throw this out there real quick. I feel like Square Enix and Microsoft gave Tomb Raider a death wish by putting it on that day because it's the same day as Fallout. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks after Halo, and it is right before Forza. There's another game that's near it too, and it doesn't need to be near all those times.
There's a
I
lot of
forgot about
overlap
Halo.
of the audiences on that one.
There's Black Ops 3 also.
Yeah, that's it. Call of Duty. Like you got to get it out of that window if you want to maximize its.
I don't think they
potential.
can delay it any.
Why would they need to?
No, they
get
can
out
move
that
it
window?
up.
Why would they
They
need to
can
get out
move
the
it
window?
up.
The Tomb Raider fan base is not necessarily the same fan base as playing Halo or, God forbid, Call of Duty. So, like, why would they need to get out that that window? Maybe they have it there because they want people to have an option to play a game that's not a first-person shooter or fucking Call of Duty.
Not to mention
Or
it's
that's
an
only
exclusive.
on the Xbox. That's only because Fallout is going to be on everything else.
Yeah, the audiences
don't-
do overlap,
I
but
don't-
I think it'll be fine.
I don't think that it only being on Xbox matters because, honestly, if it was coming out on the PlayStation 4 at the same time, we wouldn't even be having a discussion. Like, people would just be talking about I'm going to get it. It's because it's only on the Xbox that it's an issue of, like, well, there's a... And I'm not saying it's Charles, because I know Charles doesn't care. He'll just
No,
say,
I'm
yeah,
not
take a
saying
better
the
version.
game suck. I
There's
like
going to be people who
Tomb
want to
Raider.
play,
I just
like...
said because it's between Halo and shit.
But, I mean, that doesn't matter. Like, the Halo fan base, like, Halo's Halo. Like, people who buy Halo buy other games anyway. So, like, Halo isn't going to stop Tomb Raider from selling. I honestly don't think it's in a bad position at all. It's holiday season, and they had to put it out then. Like, where else would they have put it in holiday season? They wouldn't
Oh
have to.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And if they moved it up, then you're risking a rushed product. Nobody wants a rushed Tomb Raider. That's an IP with the standard that you have to meet. So, I mean, I think it'll be fine. And let's be honest, it's going to sell better when it comes out on PS4 anyway. So, it's a win-win for them.
Yeah. Michael A., any final words on Bethesda? Because time to.
Mine will be brief. The Bethesda conference, I only cared about 2 games. I like Doom, but that's because I like the old school first-person shooters. I don't like most modern first-person shooters because they'll hold your hands too much and they're too easy. And Fallout 4 I'll get because I like Fallout, but even that didn't blow me away. So I was actually in agreement with Gary. I gave them if I had to give them a grade, I'd give them like a C+.
Wow.
That's about it. I didn't care about anything else they showed. I didn't care about that stupid iPhone game for Fallout. I didn't care about the fucking iPhone sleeve that they showed. Dishonored was meh. Didn't care. I'm like, who's this new character?
I forgot about
Dishonored. Part of the problem with Dishonored 1 was that you didn't really connect with the main character at all, and then you're telling me that he's going to be in the new one, but you show a new character that I also still have not connected with, so I just don't care. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah.
I completely forgot about Dishonored. I love the first Dishonored. I thought it was fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Gameplay
female
was
thing was
dope.
the worst of it. Not that I'm not glad it's in there, but just the timing of it.
Well, I mean, to be honest, Corvo from Dishonored is somewhat like Master Chief, where like you are the character. They're kind of an
Yeah.
empty shell.
But see, here's the thing. Even with Master Chief being an empty shell, people, if you ask someone who's played any Halo game to describe Master Chief, they'll give you some characteristics about him. I could not describe Dishonored. I can't. I don't know anything about the dude. I mean, apparently he doesn't have a fucking tongue. That's all I can tell you.
It was bitten off by weevils.
Like that's it. And I'm like, I want Dishonored to get better as a franchise because the potential is there. Like the gameplay is phenomenal.
Oh, it is.
And it's very easy on the eyes. So I'm thinking, okay, Dishonored 2 will learn more about the main character. Now I'm not opposed to them adding another character. That's fine. I'm just worried that they're not going to dig deep enough into the.
Well, they kind of have to add another one only because, like the whole Metroid thing, are we gonna have something where he loses all his abilities and we go, oh, come on?
And then he has to start over
So
again.
you have to have the progression of somebody new, which it's a crutch, but it's a crutch we understand and we know.
And it knocks out two birds with one stone because then they're adding a female character, so you can't attack them for not having a female character. You have to shut up now. So that's great. So I'm all for it, but I don't really care. So yeah, I give them a C.
Okay, so sounds good. Overall, good things to say about Bethesda. So let me go ahead and jump into this now because there have been a lot of people that have been very curious what Gary and I think about the Microsoft conference. So, Gary, I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'm going to, say what I got to say.
All right. So Microsoft conference, it was good. Like, they showed a lot of stuff, and I'm impressed with a lot of it. I mean, obviously, the big megaton, you can play your Xbox 360 games, and that's great. I mean, when they made the announcement initially, like, that was major. Like, that was a huge megaton because, we hadn't seen Sony yet or anything like, so that was huge right there. But then, after a while, I thought about it and stuff, and, it's not all games, at least not yet. So, and it's like 2 years after, it's almost 2 years after the console came out. So, like, is it a big deal? Like, I'm playing devil's advocate here because everybody's saying it is a big deal, but is it really? Because, we're 2 years in, and you can't even play all your 360 games.
All right, well, I do have a response to that, but I'm going to let you continue first before I give my response to that specific question.
Yeah, the other thing that stood out to me was the HoloLens stuff. I think that was incredible. Like, I'd never seen nothing like that before. Like, that was amazing, and I would love to use that technology. The way they had the Minecraft set up on the table and everything. And I just bought Minecraft recently because a friend of mine at work plays Minecraft and he's got his own server and everything. So I actually bought Minecraft recently, and I plan to get into it a lot more. So when they showed that, I was like really excited about it. Like, just the whole concept of being able to play a game like that it's amazing. Like, I would love to really use that in person. So I'm hoping, they'll have that at Gamescom or something where, you can get like a live demo of it or something, because that just looks incredible. And, stuff like that is very hard to show at a conference as well, because it's stuff that you really have to experience yourself to know how amazing it is. But they did a great job showing us, how it works and everything, so I applaud them on that. As far as games go, Gears, I really love the Gears series, so I'm probably gonna end up buying an Xbox One to play the new Gears. I'm not too excited about the remaster, but I hear it's coming to PC, so I'm gonna play it on there anyway.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Also, they did tease that Gears 4 may also be coming to PC, so yeah.
Well,
They did?
Shit, I mean, if that happens, then I might not even get an Xbox One. But,
Well,
I didn't hear that. Anyway.
They asked him at the PC conference. He said, well, we may have something else to talk about later, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
he said it point blank. He said KI and Gears are coming to PC. That they pretty much flat out, they made it pretty plain.
What
Well,
the
they didn't
new
say
Gears?
Gears 4.
No,
They didn't say
not
was
Gears
coming.
4.
They said the
I'm
This is
remaster.
the
sorry. Yeah.
remake.
They hinted that Gears 4 might come. Also, Microsoft themselves even said, Xbox, sorry, themselves even said that they're going to put more effort into putting more games on PC and having cross-play between Xbox and PC because of the Windows 10 thing.
Yeah,
They
see,
feel like
all that.
they admitted to neglecting PC gaming, and they're like, well, we need to get back into that. And now that Xbox is close enough to PC, we can do cross-play, so there's no excuse anymore. That's literally what Microsoft said.
Yeah,
So
see, I
I
appreciate
wouldn't be
all that
shocked if it
stuff.
wasn't there.
I appreciate that they're,
I do
showing
too.
more support for PC.
Makes sense.
But the thing is, that's kind of messing me up because now I feel like, do I need to buy an Xbox One? Because I got a gaming PC. It seems
Absolutely.
like they're
I
getting
mean, there'll
PC
still be
focused.
games you can't get on your PC that are on Xbox. But I mean, if those games aren't of interest to you, no, don't get an Xbox. Just play them on your PC. I mean,
But
honestly, PC gaming is the way to go anyway, and that's where all gaming is going. So yeah, I would honestly tell you just play on your PC.
Yeah.
I
see,
would tell you get everything under the sun, but I'm crazy. So
No, right. Get everything.
it really depends because if they say, oh, the games that you can't play on PC is Forza, then I really don't care about that game enough to buy the console. So if they put Halo and Gears on PC, I'm gonna feel like I'm set right there. So
They won't put Halo on there just
Yeah, I don't
because
think they risked it.
They will not do that.
No, Halo 5 won't be there. At least I don't think it will.
No.
I announce that. They'll probably have like the remaster collection on PC. But then again, who knows? Hold on.
So
but
you,
yeah, I was gonna just quickly talk about Halo. Halo, it looks incredible, graphics are amazing and everything, but to me, it's Halo. It's more of what we know. So it didn't completely take my breath away or anything like that, but it looks like a cool game. It looks solid. It looks fun.
okay.
So the score I gave them was C+.
Oh, so a little bit better than Bethesda.
Oh, I got one more thing to say as well, because they did show a lot of like new IPs and stuff.
Yes.
One of my criticisms is that a lot of Xbox games look the same. Like they're using that Fable art style in a lot of their games.
Mhm.
Like that game they showed from Rare and a few other games. It's like they all look the same to me.
I don't know what you mean by the Rare game looking like Fable.
I think he's trying to say that they look like they're going for like the very, very polished cartoon look.
You talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I think he's trying to
no,
say.
I get.
I mean, I can only name 3 games that look like that. But, all right. And
What
Fable
are
would
the
be
games?
one. Fable, the Sea of Thieves, and that I forgot the name of the MOBA they showed.
Yeah.
And that's it. Cuphead looks completely different from that. Like
Yeah,
all the indie
Cuphead,
games did.
Yeah, Cuphead was interesting. I'll give.
Cuphead.
Recore, I mean, maybe you could argue Recore looks somewhat like that, but Recore doesn't look cartoony. That looks just like CGI.
I don't
Just
know
like,
what the fuck Recore even is. I tried looking it up.
Oh yeah, let me say something about Recall. Recall looks like what Knack should have been. Like it seems like
Yeah,
Oh,
that should be on the back of the box. It's what Knack should have been.
I know people often complain about the value of a game, but I bought my PlayStation 4 at launch. Well, my wife got it for me at launch. I got that Xbox One at launch. I had Knack day one, and I've complained about that game XYZ was too short. Knack was like 16 hours. Oh my gosh! I never have I felt like you really could have like cut this off at like 7 hours out of it straight.
Knack
It
was.
just kept going.
I thought it was like.
It was insane. The production value was cool. I like the Pixar like type animation, but I'm sorry. I know that's a sidebar. It's just
Yeah.
that game went forever. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh no, you good. You good. So
yeah, I gave them C+ just because they had 3 great things. Well, 2 really, and some other cool stuff. But I feel like there was a lot of drive spots too, or it might just be me being ignorant because there was some stuff that I wasn't really into. But
Yeah.
You surprised me with before, Gary. I was expecting it a little higher, but then I thought about it, and I guess I could do it.
I don't get. Well, you know what? I got a little bit of a criticism of that score, just because. All right, so I mean, overall, it didn't sound like you said anything overtly negative. Um, you didn't quite acknowledge that they're doing kind of a Steam early access thing, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
The backwards compatibility. I figured with all that stuff, they'd at least get a B. But I guess you just ready to piss some people off today.
See, look, the early access thing and the whole rollout with mods, I don't care about that. Like, to me, the idea of doing that stuff on a console is redundant to me because.
But see, I don't care about Fallout, but I can recognize its worth. Like Steam, not only people, were looking for that on consoles. They got it, and then they got it the same day. Like people are playing Elite Dangerous now. People wanted it because they got it.
It's pretty slick, man. I like it. It offers people an option. You can play it for an hour, see if you like. You can buy it there. You can wait. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a more informed consumer.
And if you buy it early from them via the games preview program, they give you a discount because you're supporting the game before everyone else.
And they've been doing that, and like no one saw that. Like when
Sony gets the full game for cheap. Like, that's kind of who would have thought Microsoft would have done that?
Yeah, that is true. And shouts out to Frontier because they shot me a coupon for the game on Xbox 2 because I already own the game on PC. So I see what you're doing. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it again, but I'll share it with my friends though.
Well, I mean, you
might have to toss that to me though on the low, Charles. Just real quick.
Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, it is cool that a lot of these features are coming to the consoles. I'm not hating or anything. That is cool, but I'm just, to me personally, all I can do is get my personal outlook on it, and to me, it's like whatever because I already have a gaming PC, so.
I honestly, I'm not shocked he gave it that because, like he said, he plays mainly on PC. So for him, like those things aren't like new features. Like that's just
that is true.
Like,
that is true.
I've been doing that for like 10 years. Like he doesn't care, so it makes sense.
All right, so so are you done, Gary?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
It's time for Rich. Drop the heat, Rich. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got some stuff to say. Okay, so from what I saw, there were a lot of people that they acknowledged that Sony won. We will get into that discussion later, but there were a lot of people that saw that and then they said, "Oh, Xbox is just they're irrelevant." There are some crazy people out there that said that. I disagree with that. I thought the Xbox conference was.
Why can't they win too? They did just as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, they did. They did. I believe Charles said it earlier in the show. Well, no, Damian said it too. They showed exactly what they needed to show to sell now. They're not talking about 2016 so much. They got some games coming in 2016 as well, but they did what they needed to do to sell now. Now, with that said, there are a few complaints that I did have about that show. Let's talk about that controller. Okay, that custom controller. That custom controller is badass. That's a nice controller, but that price?
I'm buying one day one. I'm getting one day one.
You know what? I agree
if
with
you. If you get two, I'll keep the other one.
I agree with you. The price is stupid. But am I going to get it when it comes out? Are you kidding me? Fuck yeah, I'm getting it.
Well,
That's
again,
amazing.
They did say. I thought they said this was for like the part like elite or like a hardcore controller for a specific. What do you call it? It's targeted to a specific group or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Corey, honestly, that controller is not for everybody. That's why it's priced that way.
No,
remember, those things are magnetic. Kids get that thing, and it's a mess. That controller is not for everybody. That controller is for the professionals, the people who play gaming for a living, who play in the Call of Duty tournaments and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
That makes sense. I totally respect and understand that. I just was a little surprised.
So you gotta price it out of their range. It's just like luxury vehicles. These vehicles that these guys make, Benzes, Mercedes, they don't cost the same price because it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
They want to make 100,000 or not even 100,000, 20,000, and sell them to a specific brand of people.
They can also compete with the higher-end third-party ones, too. You can't have it come in less than those and then have people perceive the same quality.
Exactly.
But I know honestly, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I don't think that this controller is priced because it's considered luxury. I think it's priced because that's how much that controller is actually worth. Yeah,
Worth.
look at all the parts and whatnot.
No, I was just using that as an example.
Maybe.
I think
I mean,
it's worth the money.
Fight sticks. And I'm not saying this is the same thing as a fight stick, but a fight stick is if you play fighting games, it's an accessory you buy to have maximum control in your game. Fight sticks cost entry level $150. You can build one for around $150, but good ones are like up to $300. This controller being $150, yeah, like the Hori VLX is $300. No bullshit. It's like the best one.
I don't know anything about fight sticks, so I'm out of my limit.
Well, I play fighting games, so I know all that crap. So, like, for this controller, like, the fact that you can customize the D-pad for what you want.
Oh, you can customize. I did not know that.
Yeah, you can swap everything. You can swap out pretty much that's what I'm saying. Like, you know how expensive? There are controllers that already do this, but those controllers are pretty damn expensive. And they don't do it at the level.
They're more than 150?
I don't. The ones I've seen on PC, yeah, they're over 150.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're like
the thing is there a win button? Because I'm terrible at game. I need a win button.
No, there's no damn win. Oh my god, no.
Come on, I need a win
But
button.
I'm not saying like I said, like I agree. When I saw $150, I leaned back like, okay. It was a little, it was a little hot. It was a little hot. I was like, that's a bit much. I'm gonna need a coupon. Let me see if I got some contacts. That's ridiculous. But I mean, honestly thinking, like this is gonna be a controller for the people who take games serious. And I don't mean like hardcore gamers. I mean like dudes that are playing games as a livelihood, like competitive gamers.
Like those Korean guys.
I mean, not even just the Koreans. People who play fighting games competitively, the first-person shooter competitive scene. We know MOBAs are coming to Xbox, and they're going to be taken pretty seriously. Smite's going to have their own Xbox championships and stuff like that. This controller will be for those people. You know what I mean? And for the people who just are die hard into it, want a fully customizable and durable controller. And honestly, most people who get this are probably going to wait for that price to come down, and it will. The $150 is no joke. But I mean, I don't think it's crazy. No.
Yeah, so
it's just a little difficult when you see the numbers. Like, goddamn, you clutch your heart a little bit.
Well, you made a good point. They have to compete, and console gamers don't know this end of the accessory market. Because I can tell you right now, the Rat 9, which is a really, really customizable mouse, is $150. It's $149.99.
Yep, thank you. I was just about to go there too. Yep.
Yeah, so like, even me, I have to admit, when I first saw that price, I was like, okay. Well, let's see how this works. But when you think about who they're trying to bring in, because a big part of what Microsoft is doing is bringing PC and console gamers together, and you also have to consider the Xbox 360 and Xbox One controllers are very strong PC accessories already. When people have to use that type of controller or want to use that, that's what they go for. So we're probably going to see more PC people grab that Elite controller than console.
I'd like the Sony to do something like that. I hope.
I don't see it happening because the current PlayStation controller, you can't take what it has with the touch stuff and just remap that. You can't really remap that as easily as other stuff. So
we'll see. To be determined.
True.
So like I said, the controller is one thing. I understand what you guys are saying about the price. You make some valid points. I mean, it is for a particular gamer in mind. So hopefully it does well. I mean, I'm not going to deny it looks awesome. The fact that you could switch out all that stuff was.
Yeah, I did not know that. That's a little
Yeah, so, but let's move on to a few other things. The backwards compatibility. So, Gary, you said that that in the beginning it seemed like it was a big deal, but not so much after you thought about that. Let me say this. It is a big deal because I would make the argument that the reason why you saw Sony announce all those megatons at the show, because they already knew, just like Charles had already said, PlayStation Now is no longer a focus. Well, not to the extent it was before. So I think that they had to, they already knew that there was going to be some stuff they was going to announce. That's probably why they rearranged certain stuff the way they did when they got to
Yeah, like
Okay, can I rebuttal that? Okay,
Well,
go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead,
no,
Charles. Rebuttal.
well, it was just gonna be quick. I was gonna say I can understand on face value why you might not think that it's such a big deal, and it may not be such a big deal to you. It's not a big deal to me, but they attacked an entire revenue stream for Sony that was already having trouble, and people were kind of iffy on the price. Like if you look at it on face value, the casual gamer, they see PlayStation Now, it seems too expensive. Xbox just announced backwards compatibility. You don't have to do something like PlayStation Now.
It's a PR bomb.
That's a huge PR bomb.
Yep.
And
I was about to say that.
like, yeah, they took a hit because Sony has been sitting here, if you think about it, since the beginning of PS4, trying to get the PlayStation Now ecosystem set up. And they finally did, and then backwards compatibility hit them in the face. Like, that's a big deal.
I will say they have not failed, but I think they do need to go back to the drawing board now.
They need to make it where it's free with PlayStation Plus users now.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the only way they
that's
can
what I was
do it.
gonna say. That's what
They
I was gonna
spent
say.
$300 million on Gaikai, so
Exactly.
I
So
don't know how they
I was about to
rationalize
say.
that.
They're not abandoning it, just so everybody knows. They're not going to ban that shit, but they got to rework it now.
They got to drop that price big time.
Yes,
Yeah.
they have to. Go ahead, Gary. What you gonna say?
Yeah. So, yeah, Charles put that really well. But you know what I was gonna say was, yeah, that is a big deal that they kind of attacked PlayStation Now. I'm sure Sony can come up with something to kind of counter it a little bit, or just
They
kind
will.
of soften
How?
the blow. Just
How?
soften the
They have
blow.
to. They have to.
Oh.
I mean, just soften the blow. They're not gonna get rid of it completely, but
Well, this is a game of chess, so I expect them to try something to counter this.
They can't drop it. They spent all
But
that money.
see,
They're
You
not
must
getting
think first before you move.
in a game of chess, there's pieces on a board, and you see and know all the pieces there. We don't know all and see all the pieces here, so we can't really assume that Sony's just going to do something.
They roll over and just say,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're going to just roll over. I don't know. I'm saying that nobody does. Personally, if I'm Sony, I stay the course because backwards compatibility on the Xbox is a little bit different than what Sony's doing. They weren't just going to offer you PS3 games. They were going to offer you PS2 and PS1 games.
True.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You could play that angle up a little bit more if you're them. Maybe lower the prices a little bit. I don't know. But I don't think Sony's in a situation where it's like, oh my God, that's a kill shot for Microsoft. No,
I
not
think
really.
they-
I mean,
No, not at all.
But Mike,
And also,
Mike, look at it this way. A mom going into a GameStop to buy a console for her son is a huge selling point. Because the guy on the shelf will say, hey, the Xbox One can play all his 360 games. And she might say, oh, he got a few games at home. Not all, but they're going to come. They're going to
not
come.
all, yeah, not all, but
Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
say
Go ahead.
something?
Go ahead.
Just real quick. In that scenario you just painted, that mom, she's a bad parent. And
Wait, what?
because he said because what if a mom goes into a GameStop and that looks like a selling point, and I'm saying that mom that he painted is a bad mom.
How
She's a
so?
bad parent. You're supposed to know what your kid wants. No, you're supposed to be knowing what your kid wants.
Oh, yeah, I see what he's saying. Yeah, he's saying why would you just go there without
Would
knowing
you
beforehand?
cluelessly walk into a fucking GameStop? Like, come on.
How informed do you think the average person is about games? And like,
I'm not saying them personally, but I bet you her kid is like, Mom, I want an Xbox, whatever,
If I can make a quick point, remember,
you don't have any kids, do you?
unlike the 360. Now, 360 had a much easier or workable architecture than PS3 did. I can see the older games they can kind of find a solution to.
But one point with that we're leaving out too. Microsoft is right now losing a lot of their fan base to the PS4.
I think Gary had a point. I don't think he was done. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
my apologies. My apologies.
no, it's cool. I was waiting.
Fucking head, dude. I swear.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is, in the grand scheme of things, like, are we gonna say that Microsoft's biggest megaton was slighting Sony? because in the grand scheme of things, who actually still cares about backwards compatibility? Who wants to play old games knowing all the games
I
that's,
do.
that's
People
coming
who
out?
play
I
remakes.
have both hands
What about
and
people
feet
who play
raised.
remakes?
I
I can't wait until Lost Odyssey's on that list.
Dude.
I got my Lost Odyssey in my Xbox One right now.
When I saw Perfect Dark and Banjo was on there, I lost my mind, man. I was in my house screaming at the
Gary, I'm
TV
sorry,
like, what?
man. I
No,
can't
no, no.
wait for Lost Odyssey.
You
You're going
guys
to
are-
be seeing Lost Odyssey up on my screen.
Okay, I'll be honest. As someone who does think backwards compatibility is a big deal, you're kind of making Gary's point. Because the average gamer, I'm sorry, on Xbox is not saying, oh yeah, I get to play Lost Odyssey again.
But it's
Well,
not
then
for people who
that's not
already
happening.
own an Xbox. It's for people who have not made the plunge.
No, that's where I was going to say. It's for the people who are holding on to the 360s now because they don't want to lose the access to those games. They're now going to be like, oh, now I need to get an Xbox One because I can play my 360 game.
But
That's
you know
what
what's
we're
gonna
doing.
happen?
That's what my point that I was saying.
See, the thing is, once they get that Xbox One, they're gonna be playing the new games more than the old games anyway.
But see,
So-
Yeah, but you got something to
okay,
fill in the gap, Gary. You got something to fill in the gap.
Depends on when you
not-
get the Xbox.
Not to mention, if backwards compatibility was something that nobody wanted, why did Sony invest millions of dollars into PS Now?
Thank you. People keep acting
I mean,
like it's nothing.
Because they
See, that's what I'm saying.
focus tested and realized that people wanted to play the old games too.
Nintendo sells
I wanna
us the
play
same
old games.
games every year, and I still buy them. You know why? Nostalgia is a thing, and it's always going to be a thing, a huge
And,
thing.
yeah, and the quality and the fun. But yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah, of course. They could
That's
some crap out there, but
but it's not. They have challenges that they have to overcome to get it. Microsoft found a solution. Sony's still working through theirs, I guess.
well,
Yeah,
they
my
don't really
point
have
is,
a
my
native.
point is though
They don't
that
need one.
my point is that this megaton is only huge because it's damaging Sony.
Mhm.
It's
I don't.
not-
No, I don't.
It's
Alright,
huge
alright,
because
hold on,
who would have
I'm-
seen that coming?
I'm interrupting right now.
Where's
This term, megaton, has got to die. It's the dumbest term I have ever fucking heard.
And considering that half of y'all don't even like
it's stupid.
Fallout, why do you keep saying it?
It's absolutely stupid.
well,
This backwards compatibility is not a mega. What the fuck does that mean? It's a new feature on your Xbox One. That's all it is. It's not. This is not going to directly impact Sony sales or the people who like Sony, because people who have PS4s right now are not going to buy an Xbox One because they
For
can play
backwards
360 games on it.
compatibility. I
They're
agree.
not going to.
Wait a second.
You know what I'm saying?
You see, therein lies something that I said earlier on this show, where I said, and this is why I say it is a big deal, because again, let's go back to what I said about Fallout 4 and the fact that you can play Fallout 3 because they're doing the exact same strategy with Rainbow Six Siege, where if you buy stuff, you'll get Vegas. Now,
Yeah, Vegas 1 and 2.
exactly. So for those that haven't played those games, well, I think that's a pretty damn smart strategy by Microsoft. That, if anything, I could see Sony trying to do the same thing, where you can play older games or the previous games in the title on the system as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, one last point, and I'll let you guys carry on. But see, the difference is here. Sony gave us things we were asking for.
Yeah.
But who was asking for backwards compatibility?
People asked.
on Xbox
I
One?
was.
It was literally the #1 most requested feature on the Xbox requested feature website. I am not bullshitting.
That is
It was
true.
the #1 requested feature, and it has been since launch. That's
But
what
think
people
about
wanted.
it. Generation 7 was like 8 years. It's still going on. It's one of the longest. It's probably the longest generation ever. Think about the library you built up over 8+ years.
Yup.
My
And
library
you
is
have the
huge.
potential of playing them again, Gary. Come on.
And there's timeless games that people want to play. Think about it. Here's an example.
You
Street
can't just.
Fighter Ultra Street Fighter 4 isn't on the Xbox. It can be now. It's up to Capcom to tell Microsoft it's okay, and they can put that shit on the Xbox, the 360 version, which is still the tournament standard version. Congratulations! If you have an Xbox One, you can now play Ultra Street Fighter 4. And
Great
all it
point.
takes is for Capcom to say okay to Microsoft.
Okay,
Microsoft
yup.
is waiting for them. That's just one example. There's other fighting games that are timeless that people want to play that they can now play on their Xbox Ones, instead of having to have their 360 go over the place. That's a pretty good point.
Yeah, you know what? One thing I do think is very smart though is how during that conference a lot of the different publishers were like promoting their games and saying, oh, if you buy this, you also get, Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 as well. Like that, I think that was smart.
You know why they're doing
It's
it,
just
right?
a question
Because
about why third parties aren't going to like it. Clearly, they do. Not all.
Because Microsoft
It's a way to get
all
out games.
all the publishers, but they said you can do this with every game on 360. They just need to say okay. So now when people are saying, well, why isn't this game online? You can't blame Microsoft, but they're like, you can't do it legally. You gotta go to the people that made the game first to be able to put their own. That's
And
really
people are
smart.
calling them out like, well, how come they can't do everything at once? I mean, you can't. Thousands of
You
games?
don't own
Come
them.
on.
They don't own them. Just like
Exactly.
you don't have all the games. Come
Well,
on.
and it's not even
Why
that.
people
You gotta
own
remember,
Microsoft?
the feature isn't even out officially yet. It's in the game preview.
That's a
It's
very
not
good point.
something that
Yeah,
it
it's in
doesn't
pre-
come out to the fall.
Very good
So
point.
people are like, there's only 25 games on it. It's not fucking out yet. Can you wait till fall?
No.
God
Exactly. Exactly.
damn. Like people look for anything they can to tear a console down. Like it
They
makes
really
no
do.
sense.
They really do. And it's like
I find
it's added value. It's all it's people are like what people were mad about. It's added value.
It's an added value, and you're angry that people can play games they've already purchased for free, and you're mad. Think about that. How much of a fucking fanboy are you that people can play games they bought with their money, and that makes you upset?
Read your comments.
Something is wrong.
Read your
Something is-
comments.
No, cause dude, I'm telling you, when my friend, when what's his name told me to read the comments for that Every Dog podcast, I was like, all right, I'll check it out. This shit must be splendid. I read through that comment, I'm like, yeah, this is cancer, and this is why I don't read the comments because it made no sense. I was like, you're mad that a console is getting a feature. Why? A, you don't own the console most likely, so it doesn't impact you anyway. So why does it make you angry? Like, if there was the Steam box, I don't have the Steam box yet. The Steam box added a feature tomorrow that I didn't have on my Xbox and PS4. Am I going to be writing in comments on podcasts, on comment sections about it? No, because I don't fucking own the system. And B, this is actually pro-consumer. Purchase a game, they're giving you access to that game for free, and you're angry. You're, oh, well, there's only 25 games. You know, it's not complete backwards compatibility.
It's
So what is
free.
wrong with you? It's free, and it's not even available yet because it's not out yet. This is for preview people so they can work out the kinks.
And they
But-
spent bank engineering this, like for real. This was not like flipping a switch.
You gotta make sure
And I
that
mean,
it works right for the games they have available.
exactly. And you know what? I'm going to be 100% honest. Gary was partially right in what he was saying. Because they did not have to put backwards compatibility on the Xbox One and nobody would care. They didn't have to do this. They did this because they wanted to. They didn't do it because they had to do it. They really did.
Uh-oh.
PS Now was not getting great press. So it's not like PS Now was pushing Microsoft to get that sorted. No.
Good point.
They didn't need to do this. So if anything, they did this for gamers. But no, that can't be possible because Microsoft isn't for gamers. Sony's for gamers, right? The company that was getting ready to charge you to play games that you already paid them to play.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's anti-consumer though. But I thought Sony was for the gamers. Could it be that maybe both companies are the same? They're fucking companies that are trying to make money, and neither of them are pro or anti-gamer, but you guys are letting your fanboy bias cloud your minds and saying stupid shit all over comment sections and Twitter?
Uh-oh.
When
I
you
like
have
this guy.
pictures, when you have pictures of people that work for Microsoft, that work for Sony, going to each other's booths, playing each other's games, and complimenting each other's conferences, these people who actually work for these companies, and Greenberg giving props to Sony, are you? But you got to sit at home and bash on them because you bought the system.
Whoa.
That makes sense to you.
I agree.
I'm right there with you, man.
Yep.
So let
Yeah,
me,
I agree too. I just want fucking video games to play, motherfucker.
yeah, there you go. That's right. Exactly. So let me just say a few quick things. Then I'll ask you guys very briefly about Microsoft if there's anything else to say about it. As for the game shown, you know, I'm not a fan of Microsoft's decision not to show the update on what's going on with Crackdown, what's going on with Scalebound, and what's going on.
But they said Gamescom.
Gamescom is bigger than E3, so
Oh no, I understand that, but to me it's like I know they showed these games last year they showed Crackdown last year and Scalebound. I thought we would have at least gotten an update, you know, at the show. But yeah, the Gamescom, okay, fine, that's totally fine. But
I'm worried about Phantom Dust.
oh well, yeah, that's to be determined. That's to
No,
be-
actually, they had an interview on it. They say right now development is paused.
Yeah, they
Oh.
hosted.
They said no one. They said no one is working on it right now. But they did say that it's a project that Phil Spencer wants.
They said it's still
So
coming,
it will
but
happen.
it's paused. So in other words, I'm saying
It's paused. So it's
You know
still
what?
coming because Phil Spencer wants it, but right now it's paused.
It's a really good
I-
game. Well, the original.
I hope y'all get the Last Guardian treatment too.
Well, first of all, wait. I'm going to say this, Charles, my boy. I hope y'all get the Last Guardian treatment. So you've taken a stance. You're not part of that y'all, huh? You're part of the
Wait, you guys getting a little off topic? You guys getting a little off, because they still got more people to discuss.
Wait, what's
the Microsoft conference?
Charles is a current non-owner of Xbox One. That's y'all. We ain't in it right now.
Hey, Charles.
I can't claim
Why would you want me to not get
It was
Phantom
a
Dust as
joke.
soon as
It
possible?
was a joke.
I know.
Come on.
All right, just real quick.
That hurt my feelings, Charles. Fanboy.
Xbox did have their Last Guardian. It's called Too Human. So thank you.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what?
That
You
is
know
true.
what? I really enjoyed that game. I don't know if that's along the lines.
You know what? It has some charm to it, man. It was
It
something
did.
different.
It really did. You know, it's crazy. It's two Xbox franchises that went that way that I enjoyed. It was Too Human, and then it was that one where he had, like, if you find something in the game that's like worth $1 million. I can't remember what it's called, but I know that the science fiction writer Orson Scott Card.
Alan?
Shadow Complex?
No, not Shadow Complex. Heck no. But it was on the original Xbox.
Oh,
Found something it was worth $1 million?
Yeah,
Advent
it was
Rising?
Advent Rising. That's it right
Okay.
there. I enjoyed, like, people took crap on it because of, like, bugs and stuff, but I felt like it was just as endearing as Fallout. Fallout was buggy as crap, but I still enjoyed the
I
game.
think I own 2 copies of Advent Rising. I've never played that game.
Dude, I can't. Hey, look. Put it in and play it now. You'll actually see a lot of things that Uncharted is doing or starting to do
Okay.
in that game.
I'll do that. I will do that.
So, I know we was extending a little bit. Any final words on Microsoft? Does anybody want to say what they thought? Probably keep it relatively brief because we still got to talk about.
I can say one thing real quick. I mean, I thought the backwards compatibility is cool. Now both systems have their have something different that they can brag about. I personally don't have that many 360 games, so I have like 4, so it doesn't really bother me when I eventually do get an Xbox. So it's not that big deal to me, but we'll see,
I'll just say my grade I gave them. I gave Microsoft an A. The reason I gave Microsoft an A because beforehand I said that they had to do a lot of things, like the task was difficult, and they did that more. Like, I didn't contemplate backwards compatibility. I didn't contemplate game program, which I think is even bigger deal than the backwards compatibility. I didn't know that they were going to show that many indie games. Like, I didn't see that coming from Microsoft because I just didn't. They really impressed me with that. They showed new IPs and not just one, but new IPs of different genres and in different regions of the world. And they did all this while keeping 3 Megaton games, as you guys say, out of their conference because they know that those games aren't coming in 2015 or early 2016. So why show them to keep those games coming? So, I mean, honestly, they did a good job. They did what they needed to do. I gave them an A. And B4 looked pretty badass. Sea of Thieves. I didn't see that coming. That's all I can say about Rare. Good job. And the next exclusive they're working on at Rare, I guess they finally got tired of people cracking jokes on it. Sea of Thieves, but it's going to be on point. And,
You're like, fuck all you
working on,
Hey, listen, that pirate game looks. The pirate game looks. It looks good, but I would have preferred or Banjo-Kazooie or Contra.
Hey, man, look.
You see, I have to agree with Mike, but come on, guys, we got to get away from the sequels and the same thing. It's time to start to see new stuff. That's why I think Horizon was so appealing to everybody, because it's like a breath of fresh air in the industry.
Especially from Killzone.
Dreams now, you can keep dreams.
That's what that is.
But my final grade on the Microsoft conference, I give it an A. I think they did what they were supposed to. They're trying to show people why you should buy an Xbox One over a PlayStation between now and the end of the year. They got the exclusive content coming, the exclusive games coming for the year, the big hitters, the big titles. I think they did what they were supposed to do and knock it out of the park. That's Microsoft. I give them an A. I give them an A.
Yeah.
I agree that Rare should go where they're going, but for very different reasons than Damien. It's not the same Rare team that made those games.
Yeah,
Not
that's
entirely.
correct. Yeah.
So I don't think we would be entirely happy if they would pick it up, and make those games. And on the sequel thing, I'm curious, when does that actually apply? Because
To
a
all
lot
the
of
sequels. All.
does it really apply to all sequels though? Like, look at the big titles that were announced. Microsoft alone, and I'm not knocking them because they're big titles. Halo, Forza, Gears. These are sequels. These are big games. So I'm wondering, like, when does that criticism kick in? Because you're saying don't do sequels. But
My thing is, you will always have the big titles that people want a new one of. But it is time for what I'm starting to see is the video game market is now starting to implode on itself. I know you guys say, well, the indies are now growing the industry, but
That's
I
most
want
of
to see
what I
more.
play.
I want to see more AAA people take a risk and do
How
what
much?
they.
that's not gonna
But they're
happen.
not going to. As budgets get
But
astronomical,
Gorilla is doing it.
can only
Gorilla is
afford to-
doing it.
that's not really a no.
That's not a risk. They're
That's
owned by
not a
Sony.
risk.
That's
I
not a
argue
risk.
some of the indie
Wait,
games
no.
That's not a
Honestly,
risk.
wait a minute.
Horizon,
Right.
Horizon is a risk. That's something.
Horizon is a risk.
Female protagonist with a bow and arrow looking like that. It looks dope, but it's not.
No. The reason I'm saying the risk has nothing to do with the fact that it's a female. It's the fact that it's a new IP.
Oh yeah, no, agree.
I mean, there's always going to be that risk, but that
Yeah.
We all know
That-
the last game that's similar to Horizon had the same elements. It flopped. It was Enslaved.
But look
Enslaved
at-
flopped.
but look
I
who
thought
made
you
that
were
though.
going to say Heavenly Sword.
This
Enslaved
is
was
But
a
who made it?
too,
Who
right?
made it is a very good developer because right now, and I'm surprised that wasn't shown. They made Heavenly Sword. That's a good. I like Enslaved. I thought it was a very good game, but the
Same
fact that
that's a good game. Yeah, I like it.
It is a good game, but I don't like the fact that you're trying to equate indie risk to the same as a AAA developer under a big publisher risk. It's not the same thing. One of a first party company making a new IP under the Sony or the Microsoft umbrella, yes, there is a risk because it's a new IP, but it's not what indies do. Like, they are taking much bigger risks.
All right,
I
to be
agree.
honest, Charles, we could go into this forever because we could start going back to things like the order and all that. But the show has to go on, and we've been here for a long time. So
We should all forget about the order entirely. Let's be honest.
No, but that was something new that failed.
Agreed. That is
It failed in the eyes of the public, but it still sold enough to get another one. That won't happen with indie games, the indie companies.
He's right. If an indie game fails, that's it. They don't have any financial
That's
backing after that. The rest.
Done.
That's why I respect them so much more.
Like I said, we gotta move on. We got like 8 more conferences to go.
We literally have like 3 more conferences. But okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's it for Microsoft. Any quick thoughts on EA? Because Charles already gave his thoughts. I don't know if Gary had any quick.
Yeah, I got a real quick thought on that.
Uh-oh.
That conference was over after the Mass Effect trailer for me.
Yes, yeah.
I concur.
I don't. I like sports games, so I actually like all of EA's conferences. The only thing I didn't really care for was the Battlefront. That's I don't like Star Wars.
I did forget to mention Mirror's Edge, which I was excited for. I don't know how I forgot to say that in my spiel.
I have no interest in Mirror's Edge.
I'm glad that they took what people enjoyed and got rid of what people didn't. The whole weapons thing is gone. They're focusing on the platforming, make it smoother. They're catering to the people that are fans of it. So
because I think people talk a lot of trash about Mirror's Edge, and they never really played it. And I'm hoping it actually sells this time because people claim to love it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I was gonna say, I wonder if all the people who love Mirror's Edge are gonna actually buy it this time, unlike the first one. So like when this game flops like the first one, who are they gonna blame? Is my question.
if it flops.
No, when it flops.
It won't.
I like Mirror's Edge 1, but this is a game that needed a Kickstarter for $2 million. Because I think Mirror's Edge is gonna be good, the Catalyst or whatever. But I still don't think there's an audience for it. Maybe there will be now, but I don't know.
I don't like who's working on it, so I'm not supporting it. I'll just be honest.
Wait, you say you don't like who's working on it?
Yep.
Are you talking about that one person, or are you talking about
No,
Dice?
yeah, the one person. I don't like that, so I'm not.
Oh, okay.
That's really specific, man.
That's all right.
You'd understand. But yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, real quick as well. Battlefront, I was kind of impressed with the gameplay and everything. It does look fun, but I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I will watch all the movies, but it's probably a game I'm gonna skip on, to be honest.
Look,
I'm looking for that. I'm looking
not
for
getting that at all.
the story-based game. That's what I'm looking for.
Night Republic.
I want a Jar
Sorry,
Jar
bro.
Binks RPG, so until I get that, I'm boycotting all Star Wars games.
Battlefront looked pretty cool, but it looked like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin on it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's it. That should look like Battlefield. It literally looks like a Battlefield expansion pack.
I'm not even gonna go.
Man, Charles,
Y'all keep on pushing. Like,
Look, I'm not even a shit talker no more. I'm just saying how I saw it. Like it looked like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin on it. Like,
Okay.
it looks like they released Star Wars DLC for Battle.
all right. I mean, cool. That's your thing. Word up.
Well, that's it for EA. That's our thoughts on EA.
Yeah, they ain't really had too much to
There's
talk
not
about.
much there, man.
it
They're
wasn't-
rebooting Need for Speed, whatever that means.
I like the sports talk, so I'm good.
Yeah,
FIFA
so,
look dope.
People look dope as hell.
that's it for EA. Ubisoft. Let me just say something real quick, then I'll let Gary go.
Oh, this is gonna be real good. Go ahead.
Ghost Recon. That's it. Everything else, I give no fucks about. So go ahead, Gary.
Damn! Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
I
Explain
think-
more. Explain more. It's what the hell was that?
Hey, why not? No, because listen, that Jason Derulo performance, that took me completely off the show. As soon as that guy got up there and did his performance, that was it. I was done.
Yep.
Now, yeah, I see what you're saying about the South Park. I got a confession to make. I didn't play the first South Park game, so the second one, I don't know. I wasn't excited. It's good.
Backwards compatibility. You can get it bargain bin.
Oh yeah. Right. I'll consider that. I was expecting to see Splinter Cell get announced, but I guess they're going to hold that until next year because I know they're working on Splinter Cell.
They can't drop Ghost Recon and Splinter Cell at the
That's
same year.
true. Blacklist
they
was
have-
dope, man.
They have Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and Division dropping already. They can't drop Splinter. When will Splinter Cell come out?
Well,
But I have a question for you guys though.
Yeah.
Do you guys see the significant downgrade in the division?
yes.
Oh!
Yeah, I said it. I said it as soon as the show
God!
started.
As I saw it, I was like, "Oh hell no!" Oh, that's like going from Xbox One to Xbox 360. That was terrible, man.
Okay, it wasn't that bad, but
No, it was that bad. It was that
I'm
bad.
not going to exaggerate that much. Like, that's crazy.
no,
But it
because
was-
first off, the reason why it wasn't that bad, and I'll mention a fact, is because what we saw for Division looked like something that consoles had not done yet. So you can't say it looked like Xbox One and then it went to 360. Ain't nothing on Xbox One look like that. Not one thing. Barely anything on PC looked like what Division was trying to do. So basically, we went from Fantasyland and we hit reality real quick, and it didn't look as fantastic as we hoped it would. But if they execute gameplay-wise how they should, then the Division is going to be a success. But this is Ubisoft we're talking about, so I'm iffy on that.
There's
But-
Fantasyland and
they
there's
didn't do
Southland.
Watch Dogs, so that's the company that did Watch Dogs. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
and Ghost Recon looks better than Division now, personally.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I'm not. Well, actually, no. What bothers me about Ghost Recon is that shit looks like SOCOM. I don't want to play
It
SOCOM.
does.
I want to play Ghost Recon.
But it does.
You know,
But SOCOM's squad mechanics were nowhere near as good as Ghost Recon. So imagine that in that world. I think that's a good
no, I don't think you understand. I really. There's two people in this world. There's people who like SOCOM and people who hate SOCOM. I hate SOCOM. I've always hated SOCOM. I don't want to play a game that's like SOCOM. I hate the mechanics of
But in
SOCOM. I hate the-
what ways? What ways though?
It looks. I mean, okay. It's from what I'm selling. It's a third-person shooter, right? Ghost Recon was originally a first-person shooter. Why are you going third-person again? The last time you went third-person, it went really bad with that warfare nonsense, right?
No. That's not when it went bad. I mean, that's not the first time it went third person.
Or you know what I mean? Yeah, because Advanced Warfare was third-person, but it was like It was third-person with the cover mechanic, and you could fucking wall bounce like gears. I don't want that.
Okay. So you ultimately you don't want it to be third person. Then I can respect it. I understand what you mean. I can understand that. I didn't even think about that fact, but I still think it can execute better than SOCOM.
I mean, it looked nice. I'm not taking that from them. But then again, when we see it again, they'll probably get a visual downgrade again, just like the other games did. So, I mean, hey, that's what it is.
Well, we'll see what happens. So,
anything else at Ubisoft, anybody?
Gary having something that he wanted to add, or we good on Ubisoft? We good?
Ubisoft was one of the best third-party press conferences at E3, in my opinion. Assassin's Creed looks great. Rainbow Six looks decent. I mean, it doesn't feel like a Rainbow Six game to me, though.
No, it does not. I don't get it either.
Yeah, but the gameplay does seem fun to play online. But you know, if it's just online, like if that's going to be the only decent thing that's stand out, then you know, it's gonna.
I got a question for you guys since you guys were there. Did they confirm that multiplayer-wise, Siege is the only mode in the game?
Well, say that again.
Repeat that. You cut out.
Oh, did they confirm that for the multiplayer? You know how like old school Rainbow Sixes had like 20 game modes, like the team deathmatch, regular deathmatch, where like you click the respawn and whatnot, capture the base, capture the flag, protect the hostage, all that kind of stuff. Did they confirm that in Siege, the only multiplayer mode will be Siege? That's what I'm hearing.
I think it's just these two modes. I need to rewatch everything because I didn't get to watch their whole conference.
Yeah.
But that's the impression I'm getting.
Well, I'm not buying it. So
Yeah, okay. So what else, Gary? You good or you still?
South Park, you know, the first game, Stick of Truth, was really good. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with the second one.
The same stuff.
Yeah. Division, I was never really hyped for that game anyway. But you know, it looks cool. And
is Charles still there?
Ghost Recon, that looks fire. You know, overall conference was way better than EA. I mean, it came straight after EA pretty much, so that made it seem even more better. Like even.
Oh well, you know, I do have a response to that. I'm gonna save it in a little bit. So any final words on Ubisoft? Can we move on to the biggest show of the E3, I guess?
Yeah.
Wait, Richard, before you move on, can I just ask Charles a question?
Yeah.
The last game Ubisoft showed, oh my God, the name just slipped me. The last game. Did you get to see that on the show floor? Like, how does it play?
Which game?
The last game Ubisoft showed. Hero, was it Hero? What was it?
Honor?
Honor, yeah.
No, I didn't get.
Did you?
I wasn't.
You didn't get
I
to
wasn't assigned that one. I had appointments all the time, and that wasn't one of my appointments. But I've talked to a bunch of people talking about it, and it seems pretty dope. I'm definitely going to check it out, and I think I'll be able to get out for beta access, so I'll be able to get more information up on the site about that. But it looked cool. That was the first thing they showed actually. When I walked into the press conference, that's when they showed first. Then they showed the crew after. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, For Honor looks dope.
Like, can we talk about how Angela Bassett is either a vampire or is she a succubus absorbing people's souls because she's not aging?
She's not aging. Not aging.
Black don't crack, baby. You know.
No, that's nonsense.
Angela
Bassett is 140 years old.
She ain't that old.
I don't care how old she is.
Oh, she's still gorgeous. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I agree. No, I'm right there with you, man.
It's pretty cool that she's gonna be in the game too. Like she's doing voice work.
Oh, really?
Now, is that a direct effect of the Kevin Spacey thing, or you think they had this in the works prior?
It's probably the Kevin Spacey thing, but that Kevin Spacey thing honestly stole Call of Duty.
Yes, it did. It sure did.
That campaign was dope as hell.
It was. I didn't like that. I thought the ending was a little anticlimactic, but
it was. But like just his character, like you hated him. And that's what you were supposed to do. So,
Yeah.
yeah, she's a good actress. It'll be interesting to see how she impacts the story, the campaign mode for Rainbow.
So that's it for Ubisoft, then, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Sony, now go first, Gary. I would like to say something about Sony as well, but I'm gonna let you go first. I want to hear what the grade is that you give this show.
Alright, so I love the way Sony started. Like they came out swinging from the jump, like Last Guardian straight away. Like, you know, no nonsense. They gave you the Last Guardian, and the whole setup was incredible. And the footage, I mean, I was never actually excited for this game originally anyway. But you know what they showed, it looks cool and everything. I'm intrigued to give it a try, but you know I'm not excited. I'm not majorly excited, but it's just the fact that they announced it, and you know it's the game that everyone's been asking for, and you know they finally gave it to us. And it comes out 2016, right? Next year.
That's what they're aiming for.
That's what the aim is.
Yep. So it's cool that they dropped the date there too. You know, I mean,
They didn't drop a date, Gary. They drop an aim when they.
They dropped
They didn't drop a date. A date is saying October 27th.
We have something to work with, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, he's not wrong though. That's what they did. They said we were hoping for 2016, but we don't.
2016.
It's only been 20 years. I mean.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then what was next? Was it Square Enix or Shenmue? I can't remember which order.
No, that was there was some other stuff in between that.
Horizon was after that.
Horizon came.
Yeah, Horizon was after that.
Yeah, Horizon, amazing. It's amazing. You know, we've actually been hearing rumors about, you know, this Guerrilla Games title for a while, but you know, just seeing it for the first time.
There's rumored to be a Morpheus game. Actually, I'm actually glad that they're wrong.
Yeah.
Does Morpheus have a real chance of being successful?
From my understanding, Morpheus was better than Oculus Rift at the show, simply because it was optimized better and much more comfortable for the
Yeah, there was
time.
stuff to play supposedly.
Yeah, they had like a whole hall with like games on both sides to do Morpheus stuff. I didn't have a chance for that. Plus, like I've had a bad reaction to VR, so I just let other people do it.
Understood.
But I think what it was, I just had a badly optimized Oculus the first time, so I let them handle it.
Hopefully, it don't happen again. Now.
I'm not interested.
So what else, Gary?
Yeah, Horizon, like, it looks real unique. Like, there's nothing else like that right now, really. So that really had me intrigued. And then, you know, of course, being the lover of Final Fantasy that I am, you know, when they came out and first they showed that other Final
They
Fantasy
trolled
game.
everybody.
Hey, you know what? That was actually kind of funny because it felt like they were going to troll us again.
The world of Final Fantasy.
And the crazy thing, even though that was a cool troll, that lessened the impact of World of Final Fantasy, because if you take that away, that actually seems like a pretty cool game.
No, you don't.
It does.
On its own, for Final Fantasy fans. For them, it seems kind of interesting.
Damn, he had to let you know.
Yeah.
That game does look dope, though.
Go on, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so continue.
Yeah, and then, you know, you have the Final Fantasy VII moment, and that's the moment where, you know, I came, pretty much.
Hey, okay.
Have you seen the internet reaction videos? They are priceless.
I was at the movie theater in DC. People were like losing their minds, man. Like ripping shirts.
There was one solitary screen.
It is priceless.
There was one solitary screen that happened before everybody reacted. That was me. I'm not playing. If you listen to it again, I yelled out before everybody else because I heard the song kick in, and I'm not lost it. My heart was racing.
Congratulations.
Like, Charles, you got
You're part of the problem.
reaction was really like in there. Like, what was like, did you look at anyone else? Like, what were people doing at that?
Everybody was losing it. Like the bottom floor went nuts. I actually didn't expect everybody to go crazy like that. I thought it was just going to be like spotted out, but the whole auditorium was hopping up and everything. It was nuts. It was super fun.
Damn, what the hell is this?
Somebody knocked over a garbage can. But it was crazy in there. Dude. I don't even know. Yeah, Final Fantasy definitely got the largest reaction out of the other games.
And remember, it was timed, but again, that doesn't take away from the excitement.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another reaction that was kind of cool was when Horizon went from cutscene into gameplay. That caught everybody off guard because how often do we get a new IP on stage with actual gameplay the first time?
I was bored in the beginning of that actually.
Yeah, I did. I was too. And then when it started zooming in, I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Then it went into gameplay, and I was like, all right, I'm in there.
Yeah. And then, you had the Shenmue, which we already talked about a lot earlier. But I thought that was incredible.
They passed around a collection plate for Shenmue.
Right? Like we're in the Church of Satan all of a sudden, right?
If it was just Yuki doing it, I would have been all right,
This is for the expansion fund.
And you know what? It's even more of a blow that it's completely exclusive, because if you look on the Kickstarter page, it says
PC and
PS4.
right now on PC.
Yeah, Microsoft had an opportunity. Everybody had an opportunity to get shit. It's been a long time.
I wonder why
everyone thought it was going to come to Xbox.
And it should have. I've said it before.
Honestly, it should have.
It might still. Don't. It's
no, it won't.
It's not. Sony is financially backing the game. It's not coming to Xbox. This isn't Microsoft's fault.
And before Others Inc. hops in the comments talking about some publishing thing, this is not a publishing deal like Tomb Raider. Okay, it's not the same thing. They are.
Oh, that's fair.
They are just like it's more like Bayonetta.
So
they are paying for this. Yeah, they're fully funding this whole thing.
It's a commissioned painting, essentially.
Woo!
You know what? That's a great move. I give Sony all the props in the world for that. That's Microsoft's fault for being stupid. But the Save Shenmue campaign is vast majority of it is Xbox fans. So for them to just ignore their fans,
and they have the money to do it. That's the weird part. Sony is not in a good shape as a corporation. Microsoft has the money to do it.
Sony Entertainment is in a fine position. The rest of their stuff is not.
It's also, I think what happened with Microsoft is they brought back a cult classic game, or like Phantom Dust, and lots of people just didn't really care. And I think they're starting to realize it's like, honestly, I'm going to say this. If Microsoft had announced Shenmue at their conference, I don't think anybody would have cared for me. Like, nobody
would have cared?
It had more impact.
I disagree.
I don't understand how you can say that.
Yeah, I disagree.
Well, no, you didn't hear that part of what I said. It had more impact being at Sony's conference with all the other games that they announced, because it set up a theme for Sony's conference.
It did set up a theme. I understand. We're bringing back all these games that they thought were vaporware. Yes.
Yeah,
but that's still it would have made more sense to be at Microsoft's conference, and I think it would have been.
Yeah.
Personally, if that would have happened, I was pretty much set on buying an Xbox when I saw Sea of Thieves, right? And then if they would have announced Shenmue, my debit card would have been hurting, like right then and there. Xbox, I would have been on the show with my green Xbox One shirt on and my Shenmue jacket. Like it would have been a competition. It surprised me.
Remember, I couldn't. You and I are not the average gamer, though.
That's true. And also, a little tidbit before I have to get ready. So there's a picture on Facebook of my face when I found out about these three things before the conferences, right? So I found out about Shenmue, Final Fantasy, and Last Guardian before the conference. But I didn't know where Shenmue was going to be shown. I went through the whole Microsoft conference expecting it to be shown there, and it wasn't.
Oh, you were disappointed because you thought it wasn't there.
Exactly. I was like, oh, that was BS. So my reaction when Sony dropped it was even more substantial because I had pretty much written it off as BS in the first place.
Like Silent Hills.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, nah, Microsoft didn't show it. Like that, I legit only had it in my mind that only they would have it because it made sense for it to go.
Yeah, so that made it even more crazy, man. And I mean, after that, like, it was a wrap for me. Like, Sony won But the rest of the conference, they had a lot of dry spots too. You know, I mean, Microsoft had dry spots, Sony had dry spots, but they'd already won, so you know it didn't matter. That Dreams game, that's I don't care.
It's interesting I would call it Nightmares though and marketed that as such.
It's a nightmare. That
It was cool though. Don't get me wrong.
No, it looked cool. It's cool tech, but I don't know what I would do with it.
Oh wait, wasn't there a game called Dreams before that Sega made?
Yeah,
Different game though.
Dreams.
I know. That one was actually more fun. This one really, I think that was
It's not
Dreams
really a
into
game,
Nightmare.
What you're thinking of? That one was actually a game. This is like
We
tech.
did like a
To me, this is more like Project Spark.
So wait, Gary, what grade did you give Sony? I'm curious.
I gave Sony a B.
I respect that. I mean, that you said they won and everybody else got C, so them being a B makes sense, yeah.
On his scale, I can go Sony.
Yeah. He's consistent with his scale, actually, so that makes sense.
Yep.
All right, so since you're done, let me throw in a few comments. No, conference.
If that's what you're gonna do, go back inside.
So
You turn on the TV. You turn on the fan.
So I will say this. I know when this podcast started, I heard a few people say, well, I don't know if you would say, you know, you guys said that you don't like to say that nobody won anything at E3. Let me say this. When I saw that Sony conference, I mean, yeah, to me that was it. Yeah, Sony won, and they won it, and let me tell you why they won in a convincing fashion. Yes, those three announcements were big. Now I can honestly tell you personally, I'm not really a Final Fantasy fan. I haven't played any Final Fantasy games, so that announcement didn't mean anything to me at that moment. The Last Guardian, I haven't played those games. What I saw, it looked pretty good. I mean, but I understand how important it was for them to announce those because listen, I have people at my job. They told me before this conference even happened, when the rumors started coming out about Last Guardian, they said if that game is announced, I'm buying the PlayStation 4 immediately. Guess what? They bought those PlayStation 4s today, so they backed up their word rather convincingly. Again, not something that I don't know if I would play, but I understand how important it was, and yeah, that was it. As for Shenmue, yes, I am familiar with that game. Yes, that was the one for me that said, oh, hell yes. I mean, because I already had a PlayStation 4. I said, well, I guess I have to get another hard drive for my PlayStation 4 because there's a lot of games that they got coming out I want to play.
There's a terrible man.
Oh, yeah. And Horizon looked awesome. Again, what you guys said about it being a fresh game, coming from that developer, that was totally unexpected. Because I expected, Killzone. Yeah, I know Killzone. I know a lot of people didn't like Killzone Shadowfall, but this game completely different.
Makes Killzone look like a tech demo for this.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, to me, I think that Sony, hands down, they had the better show because they made these announcements. Because I know now that we know, Shenmue is exclusive, which is good. I know you said Final Fantasy, being a timed exclusive, but quite honestly, my perspective is that, the fact that these games say what?
Is that it exists.
Yeah, it exists, and the fact that these games were announced at that show, that is something that people are going to look back at history and remember, oh yeah, that game was announced at the Sony conference. So, and Sony is the leading console, so I firmly expect a lot of people to buy Final Fantasy Remastered 7 on PlayStation 4 more so than Xbox One. So,
I mean, it won't sell on it.
And you know what, Rich?
Yeah.
Like when people think of E3 announcements for last generation, they always think of that moment when Final Fantasy came to Xbox 360. This was that moment this generation.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it definitely was for Last Guardian and Shenmue. To me, those, yeah, people are going to mark. They're going to remember that as being, this is.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, this was the one E3 that we didn't go to, me and you, Gary, and like I said, tell everybody, well, damn it, it sucks that this is the one show we didn't go to, and then it's like everything happened. But the other ones was like, nah, son, they can't compare to this. This was a memorable E3 to be at because of all the stuff that got announced. But who wants to go next? And I think Charles said he wanted to say something real quick.
Yeah, he has something to say.
Yeah.
I wanted to address the people that have a criticism of what Last Guardian looks like, because I didn't know. I did not know that we were to expect something different from what we got last time. If I recall correctly, when Last Guardian was first shown all those years ago, a lot of the criticism then was that, hey, this isn't going to look anything like this on the PS3. PS3 can't pull this off. So it gets delayed all this time, and it looks exactly like it did then when people didn't believe it could come on the console. It's on the next gen, and it looks exactly the same. We're getting what they actually promised us. But that's a problem. I'm not saying Mike's saying it's a problem. Torrance, I believe, is saying it's a problem.
I'll be honest. I'm one of the people that was in that camp of like, no, it should look better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain to me why that even matters.
Because of the time. Wait. I'm not saying it matters in terms of the overall, like, this game is classic. But I'm not a graphics whore at all. But graphics are part of your game, correct?
Yeah.
Now,
art design, graphics. Hold on.
Yeah, all of it. You know what I mean? It's more than just it's more than just a game. Now, if you take into account that there's a game that, the game didn't even come out on PS3. It skipped that generation. So this is new hardware. Stronger hardware, more capable hardware. And it's not like this is launch. We're going into the third year of the third holiday season coming. By the time that game comes out, it'll be in 2016 at the earliest, right? So it's like you've had ample time to improve that game. Why aren't we seeing these improvements? And I'm not even saying in terms of like, it being 1080p or 60 frames. I don't care about that stuff. I'm talking about in terms of like what I'm getting from it. I'm talking about the details, maybe even the physics that I'm seeing and the animations that I'm seeing. They look dated. Why are they looking dated for a game that's? It's not like they're importing it from PS3 because the game never came out yet, and you've had enough time to redo stuff.
Yeah.
And for all you know, maybe they will. Maybe they will. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because of the past. That's what that franchise. They consistently put out quality, which is why I'm excited for Last Guardian, and I still am. I still want it, but I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, you basically just showed me the same trailer you showed me 6 years ago. Why would I be excited about that?
Because it exists, and they knew that's all they had to do.
And I think that's where I'm going with it. They're basically banking on the fact that you're going to be happy just because we're giving you a possible year it's coming out. Know your place. That's basically what Sony told me.
That's kind of a stretch to just assume that that's their mindset when they announced this game. We didn't find out that they had scrapped it for PS3 until like 2 years after it was announced. So we don't know when they stopped working on that engine and that console generation and had to rebuild that engine for the new console generation. We don't know those facts.
Okay, we can't factually say it, but let's go ahead with the information you presented. 2 years after that announcement, 2011, all right? That's when they scrapped it on the PS3. Let's give them an extra year because they didn't know what they were doing. It was in limbo. So 2012.
We're talking about the fact that it was a few years later that the producer left it.
I'm giving them an extra year after 2011. I'm giving them 2012. No, let's just go at 2013. They started producing this game in 2013. That's about 2 years. You couldn't show improvement on a game from last gen in 2 years of developmental time? Keeping in mind that they've probably been developing this a lot longer than 2 years, but I'm just giving them 2 years. Why does it look like you basically just copy-pasted the MP4 that you showed in 2009 and played it in 2015?
I just don't understand the criticism because it looked amazing to me and unreachable before, and we reached it. That's where my disconnect is.
I'm just wondering, and keep in mind, I'm not saying these things as someone who's hating on The Last Guardian because, I don't have anything else to buy on my PS4, so by default, I'm buying Last Guardian. I'll be there day one. Like, that game's getting copped. I'm just pointing out the obvious, because like we were discussing earlier, I had to sit down with myself and say, okay, I was overly hyping up the game. I was being biased. So I had to objectively look at the game. And then I showed the game to people who weren't really in it. I showed them the trailer from this year, and I showed them the trailer from the original trailer. Those people were like, it looks the same. So I'm like, well, this is the same. Like, why am I giving them a pass just because I want the game to come? Like,
what's a pass? How is this a pass? Like, how is this a pass in this instance? How are you being biased by being excited for The Last Guardian? It's not like you're comparing it to something else. There's nothing to compare it to.
I'm being excited. I'm being excited for The Last Guardian based A, on the premise of the games that came up before it and the company that made it, and B, because I personally wanted the game and it's finally coming. It's not like I'm being objective and sitting there staring at the game and saying this game looks amazing on its own right. Am I doing that?
I'll give you two. I'll give you three situations.
Okay.
Right. Watch Dogs, what it was shown at first, then what it delivered. It failed. The Division's first trailer. The Division now it is a downgrade. The Last Guardian and The Last Guardian now matches what they wanted to do. I don't see the problem.
Because of how many years? You're just skipping over the time jump. Like, this is like an anime.
No. I pointed out that we don't know.
What?
We don't know when development. We don't know when development started and stopped. We know that Mark Cerny picked up the game. Like, we only found that out a few months ago. They lost the trademark. We don't even know if they were going to be making this game anymore. We don't know the facts. You can't say they've been developing it this entire time. Because
wait. I see where you're going with that. Here's the problem. They could have been working on the game on the development side without the trademark. Them having the trademark would not impede the developmental process. That would just impede when they could release it.
That's 50-50. That's a big old if.
That's not an if though. That's a fact. They could develop any. You can develop any game in the world that you want. You just can't release it if you don't have the right.
But the thing is, you can also make the assumption that if they let a trademark drop for something, then they weren't thinking about it and they weren't doing anything.
And you know what? Truthfully, you're probably right in that. But I just did a time thing with you where I basically gave them 2 years of development. I'm saying that in 2 years.
I pointed out that they had to rebuild that engine for the PS4 after going to PS3.
And you're not wrong in that. But what I'm saying is, rebuilding that engine for the PS4, they couldn't improve anything along with it. That's all I'm asking.
What's going on behind the scenes.
That's all I'm asking you for. They couldn't improve anything. So you're saying that if you watched that trailer and it looked better, you would have been doubtful, you wouldn't have been happy? You would have been more impressed?
I never would have thought that because I was perfectly fine with what I got. You got to keep in mind that when I saw it the first time, I didn't think they could reach that.
I don't know why. I thought they could reach it because it was on the PS4. The PS3 had some very beautiful games, did it not? God of War.
That was definitely one of the more beautiful ones that I'd seen. For sure.
It was up there, but I don't know if it was. I don't even know if that's the best looking PS3 game. I'm just saying we'll discuss that in depth because it leads into some other stuff. But
yeah, we'll have that another time. But I actually need to start getting ready to board. I'll alert everybody later.
Have a safe flight, man.
Safe flight.
Safe travels, man.
Yeah. So, is that pretty much it for Sony?
Yeah.
Did everybody give a grade?
Well, I thought they had a good show. I give them an A as well. Like I said in the beginning of the show, they did what they had to do. They had to make sure that when Microsoft showed their exclusives for the year, and people say, "All right, I'm going out to buy an Xbox," Sony had to make sure people say, "Oh, no, I'll stick with Sony," and they did it. They announced titles like you guys said that people been asking for in Last Guardian, Final Fantasy Remake, and Shenmue. You know, whether they're timed exclusive or non-exclusive, you know, they announce them. So people gonna resonate that, hey, they're gonna resonate with Sony. See what I'm saying?
I got one question though. Are people still hyped for No Man's Sky?
Hell no. Hell no.
I mean,
That guy is
Gary, I keep telling. I was gonna get to that and say, the problem I had with Sony's conference is they had a lot of downtime that no other company could have gotten away with. They went and started talking about TV services, talking about radio services, talking about. Well, I'm surprised they didn't show anything with the Morpheus.
They didn't talk that much about TV because I don't even remember it.
But they did talk about it
Yeah,
for
but
a
they
good
did
chunk
talk
of the
about
time.
I know they did. I just don't remember.
Yeah, they spent about a good 15 minutes just talking
it
about it.
was a good chunk.
Okay,
It
all right,
wasn't
I
much
just-
to mention.
You see what I'm saying?
We're
But this is what I'm
launching Gary,
saying.
Indiana now. Like what? I don't care. Like what?
No,
No,
what I'm saying is
it's
this: no other company could have gotten away with it. No other company.
EA almost didn't get away with it.
But you know what they did to make it up? They ended off with Uncharted.
Yep, there you go.
And I'm gonna tell you this: you guys not gonna agree with me, but I believe that Uncharted it had the hiccups, but that isn't as open world as they're letting it seem. That seemed like the way you had to go.
It's linear.
Just-
Yeah, I'm sure it's
That
linear.
that game,
linear
that,
game.
it
I'm
looked
not
li-
expecting
No,
anything
but
less from an
no,
Uncharted.
there are a lot of people who thought that they went off the beaten path because of
Yeah.
the game.
There are people that were legitimately saying like this game.
Those
must be-
people don't know anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
that's-
people didn't play the last
That's the
fucking
same thing I
game.
said.
Probably why, or last three.
Wait, who said this game was open world?
Yeah. Naughty Dog never said it was open.
Gary, you need
No,
to look,
not the.
Gary, you need to look around the internet, man. People think this game is
No,
completely open
yeah.
world.
And I really don't want to look around the internet. That's the problem.
It's probably better that you don't.
And then the other, my thing with the Uncharted reveal is, like, I get that you want to sit there and show the world around Nathan Drake. You want to show that there's a seamless transition between cutscene and when you're playing. But I don't need you to stand there for like a fucking minute, just doing nothing. Like, I get it. Okay, the game is supposed to look nice. I mean, it still doesn't look like the trailer you showed, before. But that's nice of you right there. Can you just go do something, right? And like, why was that there? I just didn't understand it.
No,
And
they,
I'm sorry.
they said the control didn't connect.
Yeah, the controller
No,
died.
I understand that. I understand that part, and they synced it. But even after they got the controller working, the guy just stood there because he kind of like looked around for a bit. Like,
I think he was playing with.
I think he was still trying to get it to work because I noticed that too.
oh, he couldn't. Like, it still wasn't working even when they got it replaced, or they had.
Well, no, I think he put the new one in, and then there was still that. Because remember, he's fucking plugging the new one. Like, oh fuck, God, they put the new fucking controller in. Holy shit! I think there was fucking a little panic there for a minute.
You think that's really what that was?
No, you guys are all
People
wrong.
don't
You
understand.
guys are
That's
all
the
wrong.
second. That was the second glitch of that game at the same show. The game froze on the initial screen.
No, the first time, that first trailer, the demo that they had, they
No, not that one. No, not that one when he fall to. I'm talking about. You see, this is what I tell people who always jump on these shows. Microsoft's conference was early in the morning or midday. Sony's conference was 9 o'clock, and that's when everybody started giving reactions as soon as you watch Sony's conference. What's fresh in your mind? You see what I'm saying? Go back and watch the Sony conference. You're going to find spots where you can be, oh my God, this is boring as shit. And then in the first part, on the opening scene, the Uncharted froze. They restarted it. Then the second time, it went past the opening scene where he was in the thing, and then the control wouldn't connect. They claim.
What are you talking
Then it worked.
about?
It worked on the third time.
He's saying when they loaded up Uncharted, it like it did like I didn't know that it froze went up. I thought that maybe there was like a hiccup. And they just restarted it. So I was kind of
I
like,
just
wait,
remember that the controller or whatever the
No,
first
before
time
before the
died,
control,
Yeah, before the
there was
controller.
a hiccup. There was a
Oh,
hiccup.
that little leg? Yeah, okay, yeah, that. Well, understand, I think that is a live, that's live, because it's not a trailer. I think it's live code. I'm not saying it excuses them.
Did you
but
see someone?
again,
Did you see someone with a control in their hand?
What, say no?
Did you see someone with a control in their hand?
I don't know, I know, but I'm just saying, I'm assuming, because it's like, he didn't move. But I don't think
Listen. As far every game that is being played, being demoed, they always zoom in on the person with a control in their hand. And if you guys remember the Ubisoft conference, a lot of their games were demoed on PS4s. You can tell, you can see the light bar in the front.
Yep.
I think it's the Rainbow Six games were done on Xbox One. But the Division was done on PS4.
PS4.
A lot of their games, because they show someone actually with a control in their hand, they didn't show that for Uncharted. I watched that video twice. Go back, they didn't show it for Uncharted.
No, wait, no. Somebody was playing. I could swear somebody was playing Uncharted when they showed it.
I thought so as well.
Go back and watch the video.
But no,
It's the last 5
I'm gonna
minutes.
have to watch that again. But I'm thinking back, and I don't remember them showing anyone with fucking controllers. He might be right.
It can be
What
game.
the-
I'm just saying.
I'm not worried about it not being a game.
I mean, it doesn't even matter, honestly. I don't even care.
Uncharted the
I mean, we
movie
ain't getting
on PlayStation
Uncharted
4.
anytime soon anyway, so who cares?
I believe that game is gonna come holiday.
Oh, did you guys catch?
2016.
Did you guys catch when that the translator? I forgot what game he was showing where he fell asleep.
And what part?
And you can hear him snoring, and then he wakes up. He's like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "What? No one else caught that? Nobody caught that."
I
I think
catch that.
it might have been the new. No, it couldn't have been. It was a game where he needed a translator. I don't remember. It was like the part where it was like the clouds. Like, in the beginning, it's just the clouds in the sky, and you can see birds. I cannot remember what game. I'm gonna watch that shit and tell you.
Final Fantasy World game.
It was probably that, and the translator legitimately fell asleep and woke up and go, "Shit."
And then when he saw that fucking 7, he's like, oh,
There's your sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn! Like really, this dude's fire. That's fucking ridiculous.
But you know, I still say they had a good conference because at the end of the day, they still brought stuff that made you say, "Wow, that's coming back."
and
So,
Damon, I will make the point. I'll let you finish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it was memorable. Their show was memorable. So they did what they had to do. So I have to give them an A. But other than that, they had some spots that if anybody else did, if Microsoft did it, that would have been the talk of the town. Oh my God, Microsoft come back with this TV. This is the 3rd year Sony showing us TV, and there's no mention of it.
Nobody. Yeah, I just thought about that. Nobody cares. Like,
The 3rd year, nobody says a word about it.
No, the bias is strong, man. I don't know what else to say.
That's my.
No, Sony
People would say, "Oh,
I can keep not giving a shit about it, so they can go keep showing it." So
no, Corey. My thing is this, Corey. If you ever read these comments, everybody gonna say that I'm butthurt. I said no. All I say is be fair.
Alright,
Be.
I'm gonna put it like
fair.
this. I'm not gonna
Honestly,
be
be
honest
fair.
because no, that shit. But I promise you, in the comments of this, there will be people defending the TV and explaining how it's somehow different, even though it's the same thing. And then there'll be people complaining that even though this man just gave Sony an A, that he's still biased against.
well, yeah.
Oh no, there won't be too much defense.
No, what it'll go down is it'll be like Damien talking, and then it'll Zinc go down about how Forza 6 is going to be the next revolution in gaming. And then
Man, you guys, come on, give Other Zinc a break, man. Other Zinc is passionate, and I understand where he's coming from. He's very passionate, and sometimes that makes you just.
Is he a stockholder?
yeah.
Hey, who the hell knows? I heard this one guy I subscribe to on YouTube said he sold his Nintendo stock after the Nintendo.
Okay. So when he said that, you should have just closed that tab. Because that's what he said. Like, it's
No,
nonsense.
no,
It makes
these-
no sense. Like,
You know what,
Michael,
though?
these things are funny to me. These things that make me laugh. This is my entertainment, dude.
Oh no, I'm with you on that. The thing about Nintendo is, their digital event was not great.
It wasn't. It
It's
was
not their best ones, but
Man,
that's
I can't agree with Charles. It was
They do
terrible.
directs throughout the year, so they every couple of months they have a direct that's like 20 minutes, half an hour to show new stuff. Now, is
Not
that
to
the best
mention-
strategy? Maybe not, but they still do release. They still have more times throughout the year when they deliver information directly to their fans. So
not to mention, they had the Nintendo World Championships right before.
they had that, and like I said
That
earlier,
was
they had-
very well done, honestly. And shoot, I got me hyped for Super Mario Maker. I didn't think I want that game. I want it now.
Shall we
So-
just move ahead to Nintendo now?
yeah.
Oh no, I want to give my
I
grade.
got
Yeah,
some
let me
stuff
get-
to say
my
about
grade for Sony is an A because I told you that before E3 that all they needed to do was give me some concrete information for Last Guardian. They did that. So I mean, I didn't really care about the rest of the show, honestly. Like I had no interest in Final Fantasy VII.
They got work to do, but they're
Can I ask one question before we go on? What's the lore about Last Guardian? I don't. It's not appealing to me.
You have to play Ico and Shadow.
Okay, well, I didn't.
If you haven't played those
Yeah,
games,
they're all
it's not a direct like it's not like it's a part 3 of the story, but it's like the story connects like through characters and whatnot.
Yeah, supposedly Shadow of the Colossus.
I think they connect through people's affinity for the developer because there's no actual thread.
Like, okay, the character that's given birth to at the end of Shadow of the Colossus is the character that you play as in Ico.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that. So, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Did they not
So,
zoom in on the creator during as I thought Shuhei kind of like, and I thought that was neat that they did that. They kind of like put so he is still involved somewhat. The original creator of Last Guardian.
Yeah, they met him out of the basement.
So I thought that was neat.
I think he's producing it now. Which is cool. But he's still
Sorry
involved.
to
But
prolong.
yeah, I gave Sony an A. Last Guardian was there. Yeah, Last Guardian was there. Honestly, like, I have no interest in Uncharted. I don't care for the Final Fantasy remake. Shenmue.
We'll see where
That's a big Shenmue. I give Sony props for because they didn't have to do that, and they did, and that's a big drop of the ball by Microsoft. So they get points for that too. Actually, so I give them props for Shenmue. You know, I'm definitely not playing that on the PlayStation 4. And then what else? No Man's Sky. Personally, I think that was better presented at the PC conference, which was amazing to me. I don't know how no one's talking about PC conference. I loved it. I think No Man's Sky, and it's interesting. They announced it's coming at the same time on PS4 and PC. So
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the hype. I think they just didn't show interesting stuff for that game at the PS4 conference. That's what it is. The game still seems like it's a cool concept, but the stuff they showed where the dude gets out, catalogs the fucking flower, gets back on the ship, and like,
yeah, that
like
kind
no,
of.
that's not what's gonna get people hyped for this. Like, what are you doing? So I
He
don't
was
know.
nervous up there, if you noticed.
And yes, he was very nervous, but I mean, I'm not gonna hold that against him. Like, I mean, social and awkwardness. I don't care.
Not appealing. Looks
There's
boring.
gotta be something else at the Sony conference that interests me. I don't think there was. Like, Horizon. Like, all right. I mean, I'll give it a try. It's a new IP. I always give a new IP a try.
I want them indies. Give me the indies.
And one Wyoming, the indie game supposed to take place in Wyoming. I thought that was like it was.
Microsoft had more interesting indies to me than them, which I'm still confused as to how the fuck that happened. That's not supposed to happen. But no, there was a game. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah.
Give me every.
You act like I'm not trying. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna give it. Sony gets an A. Good work on Sony. Do I think Sony won E3? No, I don't think so.
That's the same way I feel.
No.
I feel
They won
that.
the conference, but they have not won the
I think
what they won
that's the
is.
cop
I
out.
think. No, I'm not gonna. Oh my god, I'm not gonna say that hippie shit. What I'm gonna say is that I think Sony won. Sony did what they're supposed to. Their battle was obvious. That Sony went after the fanboys. Sony won the fanboys, which is funny because Sony already won the fanboys. I don't know why they would take all that effort with fanboys. All they had to do is exist and they won the fanboys. They did that, and they won over the press, which is more important than winning over the fanboys. And the reason I say they went over the press is because they went after those titles that they know they have a cult following and that the press is going to attach themselves to try and gain gaming credibility. Because you see the fake hype some of those journalists had. Shenmue 3, the one guy running around with his hand. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
Watch the game trailer's reaction.
I mean, you know what? That doesn't bother me. It's all enthusiast press. Like none of.
But here's the thing. These are supposed to be people. Wait, I'm just saying these are supposed to be people that are supposed to be professional. You're supposed to be objective. But
there's no such thing as objectivity.
I'm not saying complete objectivity. You're supposed to aim for it, though. You're not supposed to.
I agree. But
if you don't aim for objectivity, what's the point of having a journalistic field? People can just
but it's not journalism. It's I play stuff I like and talk about what I like.
But that's the thing. When it benefits them, and I'm not saying all, most of these people call themselves what? Gaming journalists. Some of them just call themselves journalists.
They should not be doing. I've been saying that they should not be doing that.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying if you're going to have that mantle, I'm going to expect you to act that way. I'm not going to.
That's fair. You're right. That is fair. If you're
use
the J word, back it up.
Final Fantasy 7. Oh my God, dude! I can't believe I'm so hyped. I'm like.
Final Fantasy, my pants are off already. Like, you know what? That's not really objective.
Like, who's saying stuff like that? I'm sitting there like, I don't think you guys even played
Gary
before. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yo.
But, I mean, Sony did what they needed to do. They won those people. That's huge for them. And I personally was more interested in what Microsoft did in the fact that they showed all that stuff, and then they ended the conference not just with backward compatibility, but with telling you, we have Crackdown 3, Quantum Break, and
Phantom? Did they say Phantom Dust?
No, not Phantom. The next one.
Scalebound.
Scalebound.
Thank you. You said we have Phantom.
Which are all coming.
Those 3 and more at Gamescom. I'm like, damn, that's big. Because before people were saying Microsoft, they always show everything at E3 and have nothing after that. Now they're saying we have more for the rest of the year. And you take into account, it kind of makes sense because people forget we didn't have any Gears of War conference information last year, did we? They showed a picture that said Gears of War information coming next year. They didn't even mention it at last year's E3. They mentioned it this year because they have a Gears of War game coming this year. So I think that's the new policy they're kind of enacting. Because usually Microsoft never shows stuff that's too far away in any way, but now they're saying no. We show it now, that's because it's coming like now. Like beta's up today. Go play it now. So I'm like, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think both of them did a good job. I think honestly, all the conferences served the purpose. Like it was not a bad conference I watched at all.
Okay.
Like I don't even think the Nintendo one.
No, the Konami one was garbage, man.
I think Gary kind of wants to Nintendo.
You know, I try to focus on the positive, right? And then you got to bring that in.
Sorry.
So yeah, I know we have to wrap it up very soon. Let me just say this real quick. Nintendo, you guys got something quick to say about Nintendo?
Nope.
Star Fox was dope, but the only problem is I'm hearing that Star Fox will not have online multiplayer. What the hell is going on?
Crazy, man.
They
What are they thinking?
I'm telling you, they need new blood there. I'm not saying get rid of all the old heads, no, but you need to bring in some younger voices.
Okay, so I will say this.
That's what the Treehouse is trying to do, but
I will say this. I heard Charles's what he said earlier about Nintendo, and I just will say this. Nintendo is saving their stuff for next year when they announce their next console.
Yep.
NX.
And then they'll have stuff to show for that. At least that's what I think will happen.
Agree.
No, that's exactly what it is, and that's
exactly
all they can do. They can't. Their hands are tied.
Yeah, Mike.
How much more time are you gonna be on?
They have the games coming, like the Fire Emblem Cross, or Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem and all that. Like those are big games that people have been wanting, and they're coming. And that's another question. And I'm gonna say this now, real quick, because I know people in the comments are gonna say things like, "Oh, how come Microsoft didn't talk about Kinect?" I'm like, and that's valid. You know, there wasn't really any Kinect discussion at all at E3, which is
that's not true. Actually, somebody did say, I'm not sure who, that there are first-party Kinect games coming this fall.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, no. That's I was going to see. I gotta ruin everything, man.
So,
the games are. I just wanted to let them know that games are coming for the Kinect.
Yes.
So, why was there no Vita discussion at this E3?
Because Vita's dead. They already announced that.
Vita is a legacy system.
No, see, I don't buy that because they.
I don't agree with it. I love it.
They retracted that statement, so clearly.
They've redefined it. What we meant was the first model. We knew what you meant.
Why was there no Vita discussion at E3? And I'm saying that not to like mock people, but seriously, because Riku has a Vita. He goes in on his Vita. Like I'd like to see him get more games to play because that man clearly is passionate for it.
I think he just said
why
there's
is
no
Sony not bringing it?
games they're making for Vita. I don't think they said they're stopped making games. Just no AAA shit.
And they showed you those indies. Most of those will probably be cross-buy.
But why not put? That's what I'm saying. Why not shed some light? Give the Vita some shine.
Because Vita has not sold enough where it's worth it. It's an opportunity cost.
Well, I mean,
5 minutes of Vita means 5 less minutes of something else that.
But you think
Vita did get shine though.
They couldn't take 5 minutes out of that TV bullcrap and show Vita stuff?
No, I would have appreciated that personally.
And you think them not showing the Vita is going to help the system sell more? Like if you're not showing it,
that's the thing. Like their
expectations
are low.
You're forgetting that the Vita was shown though.
When?
Okay,
that Final Fantasy game is coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
It's still real.
Who kissed their teeth?
Me, I did.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I did, Gary.
So
sorry, man.
So I just saw that message that you wrote. I do agree. Have to get ready to wrap it up. I do want to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
I heard Gary. I heard you say that you thought Ubisoft had the best conference, right? The best third-party conference?
Well,
Okay.
nah. I said
You said that earlier, right? You said
Yeah,
that
he did. He did say that. Get him, Rich. Get him.
You said that earlier, right?
Nah. I said one of the best.
No,
Yeah,
Sony
man.
had the best third-party conference. Come on.
No.
I agree with that.
That's a very good joke. That's a very good joke. But with all due respect to what you said earlier, Gary, Square Enix, not because of Final Fantasy, because that Hitman game, that game is going to be great.
Yes.
Deus Ex, that game, another game.
Oh my God, Deus Ex, I need it.
Yeah, that does look good.
I remember, and I have to apologize because I admittedly said there's nothing that Square Enix is going to show me that I cared about. And they slapped me all over the face with that fish because I pulled that. Hitman looks fantastic. Okay, let's talk about that. Deus Ex looks fantastic.
Yeah,
Hitman is digital only, right?
I'm not even a. Is it? I'm not sure.
That's what I was hearing. That's straight digital.
But
I'm not even a fan of the new Tomb Raider. I've never been a fan of the new Tomb Raider design, the voice work, the character look, game. No. And even I'm like, that new Tomb Raider, I gotta get that. That shit looks like it's gonna fly.
Didn't
Dark.
Bethesda have one of the
I
best?
gotta get all of it. Like Square Enix. I mean, shit. Other than that crappy Final Fantasy VII remake that doesn't need to happen, you've done everything right. I applaud you. Good job.
That's too much money on the table for them not to have eventually done that. There's no way. They have stockholders.
I
man.
understand the money aspect. As a business, yes, but I'm talking about as gaming. Like,
Well, gaming is a business.
Kingdom
when
Hearts.
people stop hyping up old franchises and start giving new franchises a try. There's got to be a point in time when, like, you know that the reason the people in the West want Final Fantasy VII Remake so bad is because they didn't really know about RPGs until they played Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to say,
okay.
if you're mad, I'm not wrong. But
That's absolutely right.
they hold it to the standard of it being like the best JRPG, and it's not even close.
Yeah, but if that's your first, then if that's what made you like the genre, then that's what you go back to. The only thing about Sony thing with me is like this: everything is out now. Basically, like Final Fantasy, Shenmue, and Last Guardian were like Sting coming into the WWE. Sting comes in
Half-Life
there.
3 is missing. Apocalypse is not here yet.
That's it. There's nothing else. There's no other. There's nothing else that people are like that anticipating again. That's it. They all got out there. All three done.
But
There's no
you're
one
right.
left.
Yeah.
Goldberg was already in WWE, so that's it. We're done.
I mean, they got some treasures in their. They got some gems in their treasure.
But nothing.
Next
But
E3.
nothing meets the hype of those three things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Next E3, Siphon Filter.
Gears of War.
I was gonna say I'm going
God of
there.
War.
Let me get a side.
If they change the character's
Then
name to
I don't
Logan Newell,
care. Don't
then
care
we can
about
talk.
God of War. Ever they can let that
But
shit die.
can I
Siphon
ask a
Filter would be
question
nice.
though? Can I ask a question though? I know you hear a lot about people will say, oh, people think Sony's 14, 15 first party developers, they just not sitting on their hands. But what exactly are they doing that Sony had to have a conference where a highlight in their conference was them securing the Call of Duty DLC?
Well, dude, that goes back
That's a fair
to
question.
Destiny.
Oh gosh.
And
No, they
them
had-
showing off
they-
you
no, no,
know,
they-
you guys
they had
noticed
to-
what happened at
oh,
this
wait.
E3?
They
Let's
had
not
to
mention
make
they
that
wasted
announcement.
5 minutes on Assassin's Creed too.
Yeah, that
On multi-plats. You guys notice these E3 conferences are switching? What used to happen at Microsoft is now happening at Sony.
That's
What
true.
happened at Sony happening at Microsoft? Sony
But
used
no.
to be the one showing first-party games, and Microsoft, because they was weak in first-party, was showing third-party games. Now you got Microsoft showing, before almost every showing, exclusive console and Windows exclusive. And you see Sony now saying multiplayer. Oh, well, we getting this
Well, that's-
content first.
Okay, two things.
Success
Hey,
makes you lazy.
and this is important. If you're Sony, you have to announce that Call of Duty information. That's huge. Call of Duty is hate it or not.
Yeah, but Call of Duty's
That's a
numbers
big
are dwindling.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
that Black Ops 3
But
is not
Call
getting
of
the
Duty-
hype.
Call
Like
of
the one
Duty's
last
numbers dwindling doesn't mean much when you consider the fact that the lowest selling Call of Duty game to date recently still outsells pretty much 99% of the game market. Like, it's not even close. Like,
You
if
can't
you're not
even-
if you're not GTA 5, you're not beating Call of Duty. So let that go. And that's my point. So for Sony to say, yeah, we got the exclusive rights, we get the DLC first, we want this to be the tournament standard. So for the competitive scene, people know who play Call of Duty competitive. Gotta go get a PS4 now. That's
You
huge
think
for
so?
them.
That's not gonna happen.
There's a whole
That's not gonna
hashtag of
happen.
people that are bitching
It's-
about that, which makes me
Yeah,
sad.
there's a Twitter. Oh my God, fucking fanboys. There's a Twitter trend.
Yeah, but
Xbox for Riot, where Xbox
Right.
fanboys are upset that Call of Duty is going to PS4.
man, you
The
and
same
then you
way
can
with
hear
this
the
one.
number is about 1,000.
They're still getting. It's not like they're not
Yeah,
getting.
but let me ask you guys this though, because this is something Richard always says. What console is Call of Duty synonymous with?
Xbox.
That's where he's gonna sell. That's where he's gonna sell.
I will promise you, and we can set this bet right now. We can do it via PayPal. I will bet you $100.
I only bet
Duty
$1.
Black Ops
I only
3
bet $1.
sells.
I
I'm
get
just
a
telling you,
percent.
it's going to sell more on PS4 than it does on Xbox.
But do you think
Nah,
it's gonna be
close.
worth the money more?
Nope.
What do you mean worth the money more? It's going to be the same
Worth
game
the money
on
that
both
they're
consoles.
worth the money they're paying
Worth the money they're
Activision for the
paying-
exclusivity.
Right.
I mean, was it worth the money that Microsoft paid them for that exclusivity?
Yeah, but look at the sales on Microsoft. That thing literally carried Microsoft for the past 3 years.
You
And that's
realize that Call of Duty sold exceptionally well on PS3 as well. Like 7 or 8 of the top 10 best-selling PS3 games were Call of Duty games, just like
I
on
agree.
Xbox. The same.
But it was still selling more on the 360. Significantly
back then.
more. It would
What
be
I'm
like,
telling you
like
is-
7 million to 9 million.
What I'm telling you is right now, you're going to get those same numbers, but they're going to be reversed. The 9 million will be for Sony.
No.
Put your money up. We can make the bet.
I don't know.
I told you I will bet, but I only bet $1.
We're not
A
betting no
gentleman's bet.
damn dollar, man. You
Listen,
know,
dude, I'm
pay
English.
out.
I'm English, dude. English people don't believe in this $100 million like you American
I
guys.
didn't say $100
We bet-
million. I said
No, I'm just saying.
$100.
I just saying, English people, ask Gary. We only bet $1. It's a gentleman's bet. That's what millionaires bet.
I don't
We're
think
all
Gary
gentlemen.
gives
But I'm not a millionaire. We both broke. I'm just picking this up because it come up to me. But
Yeah,
you're not
I
listening.
bet a £2 coin.
Well, I mean, it's,
Hey,
if you
you
still
see?
think you're right, what's the
Exactly.
difference? If it's $1 or $100, if you still think you're right, you get $1.
Because what am I going to do with $1? Get a bag of chips? I want $100.
You can't even do that, but that's not the point.
Yeah, I want to try to go get that $100 will pay for my last Guardian and my DLC. So that's why.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, can we
It'll
move back? 'Cause it's
It'll
like,
pay
yeah,
for the Kratos DLC for the
Well,
last
you guys
Guardian.
heard it here first. I promise you, Call of Duty will outsell the Xbox One version of PS4, like in 5 million.
I mean,
And you don't think the user base has something to do with that?
You don't think the user base has something to do with that on the 360 and PS3?
I personally don't agree with that because I mean we saw Destiny sell more on Xbox. Before.
did it though?
For a while, yes, it did. That's because Xbox had all those deals where when you bought the system, you get to take a free game.
And to be fair, didn't the last Call of Duty sell better on PS4?
I think it did for the last 2
Hardline?
years or so. Yeah, I think for the last 2 years it's been selling more than PS4.
I thought
No, no,
Hardline
not-
was more on PS4.
Hardline, what are you guys talking about? I'm talking about
Hardline. No, that's Battlefield. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare sold better on PS4, I believe.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
actually a
point
really
is-
fun game.
And in fact, I don't know. Actually, Ghost. Who cares about Ghost? Yeah, Advanced Warfare
Ghost was
sold better on PS4.
But it's digital, so I can't.
I'm just saying.
So then
sold better on PS4.
you can't blame Microsoft for giving it up. Sales declining might as well
That
go
doesn't
invest
make
the money.
any sense. Okay, if anything, this had nothing to do with Microsoft giving it up. This has something to do with Microsoft's deal with them
This is
expiring.
an Activision
And
decision.
then
And Activision
and then
being an
Activision-
opportunist.
And being opportunist and seeing that Sony is where the game is selling the best, and Sony has been dying to have an opportunity like this, so they went to Sony and made a deal with them. That's all it is.
You don't think money had a thing to play in this?
Dude.
Money has nothing to do with everything. This is business. But
Listen. You don't think when EA knew Titanfall wasn't gonna sell as much as it would if it was on every console, and they still made it exclusive? Why?
No,
Money.
that has
Money.
Alright, last word
money.
because we got to wrap
Okay,
it up.
I'm gonna
we-
say this
Alright.
last one. EA thing, the Titanfall thing, you shouldn't have done that because that kind of makes my point. Titanfall went exclusively to Microsoft because it was an untested IP from a new Respawn development team, and they just needed funding for the game. So essentially, Titanfall 1 was a beta test. I'm gonna come out and say it. The fanboys got it right. Titanfall 2 will be multi-platform because for some reason Microsoft didn't see far enough in the future to sign them to a multi-game deal. Well, Titanfall 2 will be on PS4. It will sell better on PS4 than it does on Xbox. And the game will all of a sudden be amazing, even though the first one was crap. The Sony fanboys. Don't ask me why. It's going to be amazing when it comes to PS4, and it's going to sell better on PS4. And you know why? Because there's more people on PS4 than there are on Xbox. That's just
about them numbers.
It's about numbers, man. And that's why Call of Duty is going to do well on PS4. And Xbox fanboys just got to hold that. The Xbox of Riot, that's the dumbest hashtag of all time.
Look, I'm going to tell you, I haven't bought...
This is Sony. This was Activision. Go fucking yell at Activision, goddammit.
They're just trying to make that bet. They're making that amiibo money on Nintendo now. They're going to be. So they're everywhere, man.
Yeah, so
you fanboys are scum. All of you are scum, and I hate all of you. That's how I'm going to end the show.
Oh.
I don't care what system you're a fanboy for. If you're a fanboy, I hate.
I have a preference, but I play on everything.
Me too. I have a preference. I just don't own a PS4 because I don't see that. I don't see why I should have it.
Like, I mean, I would love to tell you why you should have it because I have one.
I would say for the indies alone, you should have one. But
you see, that's it. I'm
not
big on indies. I'm not big on indies.
I suggest you refamiliarize yourself with them this generation.
You know when I'm gonna get a PS4? When Horizon gets a release date.
I got my Last Guardian's coming, so I'm happy. That's why I got my PS4. Bam.
Not appealing to me. And I don't like the PS4 controller.
I mean, I don't like the controller either. Man, you know what? I don't care. End the show because I don't. This fanboy stuff is gotta stop.
No, it has nothing to do with fanboy. I'm a gamer. That's what I am. I'm a gamer, and I play where the games are. Right now, I'm very satisfied with playing my games on my Xbox One. They have the games that I want to play. You see what I'm saying? Listen, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. The fact of the matter is, I'm getting Final Fantasy VII Remake when it comes to the Xbox One. I'll just wait. Just like how the Tomb Raider fans who have a PS4 gonna wait for it to come to the PS4. I'm gonna wait for Final Fantasy VII.
You're only a fanboy if you do that. If you wait for Microsoft, if you wait for Sony, that's just normal.
You know why? I rather achievements over trophies.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well we're done because that's enough. That's enough Xbox Bible talk. So.
We have to wrap it up because Gary has been up. It's late over there where he's at, and I know I've just been informed I got to be up early tomorrow. So I think this is a good stopping point. Any shout outs, closing statements that final word, not words, final word that you have,
just literally.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate that a lot.
Hey, thanks for coming on last minute, man. You know everything was a little last minute for us. I got here a little.
I'm sorry about that, but it worked out.
No. For me, I got here late, so but you're all good. Thanks for being on the show, Damian. Thanks for being on again. I'm pretty sure you'll be on.
Thanks for having me, man. Every time I get an opportunity, I'll definitely come. I love being on the show. I love you guys.
Charles says you were dunking on me. Is that true?
The what?
I'm the one who asked for Charles to come on.
Hey, I
specifically asked Gary to get Charles on the show.
Oh yeah, so I'm pretty sure both of you are welcome back anytime.
Let me know.
Cool. Of course, thanks for joining. Charles and Ed already left, so I thank them as well, even though they probably won't hear this until they watch it again, if they watch it again. Gary, you got any final words?
Shouts to all you guys, Corey, Aaron, Mike, and of course Damien. And one thing I wanted to say about Square Enix. I think people were sleeping on Star Ocean. Star Ocean.
I know that's gonna be big. Japan big too. That's gonna sell a lot.
Well, Star Ocean, that's coming in 2017 with Kingdom Hearts 3 and
Kingdom Hearts 3 will come in 2044 when my fucking grandkids can buy it.
I don't care about Kingdom Hearts.
I'm not even getting
into Star Ocean, but I appreciate you all having me on the show. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Peace out, Gary.
You're welcome.
See, for some reason, I didn't see your logo for a second, Aaron, so my apologies. I thank you for being on the show as well, and we definitely going to have you back again.
Great.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back.
It's a fun show.
You all laughed at some of my jokes, and that's all I need. Thank you.
Oh, okay, now I vote for him to never be on the show again. That needs to not happen. That joke thing, no.
Nah, you floored me when you said that thing about Sony having the best third-party show.
No, you can't
I
really
do
take
what I
that
can.
away
I'm
from them.
mad at that though. I'm pretty sure they would have a comment. They're gonna leave a comment for you on that one.
Oh yeah.
You can't-
I can defend myself. I'm good. You know.
You're on the internet, man. You can't say that about Sony on the internet.
I know.
Don't
That's
you have a
illegal.
family? Aren't you worried about your family's safety? Yeah, no, you don't do that.
I should have thought of my wife and 3 daughters. You're right. Before I said
Yep.
that.
Gator's like, I severed my ties long ago.
Meanwhile, I'm in the process of being inducted into the church. So, okay, hallelujah.
Yeah. So my final word is thanks.
Shut the fuck up and play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks everybody for checking out the show. E3 was awesome. This is the time to be a gamer. There's no shortage of anything, no matter what console, whatever. So go out there. No controversy. Just play games. That's
Yep, I agree.
All right.
All
Take
right,
care,
good night,
people.
guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, man.
And Until Dawn still sucks.